Hello, hello. We're trundling in late. Sorry. Welcome along to Beldania. Oh my god, everybody's cams have died and oh, everything's a mess. So yeah, welcome along, guys. Thank you very much for the raid. Never ever raid me in my starting zone screen. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. That's what I'm going with. Everything's a bit all over the place. Nevertheless,
Yeah.
today I have playing with me, Joe.
That one's me. I'm Joe. But in this game, I play Hennick Littlefield. He's a halfling farmer and bard.
I have Josh.
Did you say me?
I have Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing Sebastian, who is a human turned cat abjuration wizard.
I have Rico.
Hello, I am Rico, and I'm playing Torin, the Golden Dragonborn Oath of the Glory Paladin.
And I have Jamal.
Hey guys, Jamal here. I'm playing Kiavo Duskmane, Leonin Order of the Scribes Wizard, and James, it's very satisfying to watch you fix your start.
Thank you. I don't really understand what changed between last week and this week, apart from, oh yes I do, that's what happened. I do have another person playing, you might have noticed them. They're not called Natasha either, I don't know what's happened. And they're dead. Yeah, let's fix that. I don't understand how that's even...
While you fix that, I'll introduce myself if you want.
No, well yeah, introduce yourself, but don't introduce your character.
Oh my god.
Hey guys, I'm Bruno. I used to play Natasha before she passed away. We're still getting through the grief. It's a very saddening situation.
It is. It's a sad situation.
Torin just can't even right now, guys.
Guys, all that's happening is people are getting bigger. I'm really confused. Why are people getting bigger? Stop! Go smaller! Why is Natasha in the gift? Everything's gone wrong! I don't understand.
She lives!
We spent so much time fixing this all yesterday, and it's not fixed.
Professional technical.
Okay. I don't know. Right. You guys were standing around the corpse of your bestest friend and buddy, Natasha Eilert. And honestly, it was a bit sad, really. Tell me, what are we doing?
Crying, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likely.
I can't believe it, really.
Yeah, Hennick is sentimental but not highly emotional, so he's probably not actually crying, but sort of going into practical Hennick mode and sort of like just moved to where he's like going over and bringing the cart and making space in the cart and just making sure that, like, you know,
Yeah,
the
I
body
figured.
is relatively stable and asking for someone much stronger than him to help.
Oh, lift. Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured we'd wrap her up maybe in like a blanket or something, and
Yeah.
lift her out. Like Torin will lift her up and sort of place her in the cart or the carriage, whichever one. And just very somber, not really saying much.
Hennick is mumbling to himself as he does this. Slowly working something out here. And I think by the time that she's on the cart, he's gotten enough in his head to think of... I believe Natasha had a lantern. I don't know if she actually used that lantern when she cast Holy Lantern, if it was somehow... I don't know if...
I think she did, yeah.
And so...
She did.
He will pull that out, and as her body is on the cart, he will hang that lantern on the front corner of the cart, and just sort of turn to everybody else and, as is his wont, say a few words. Folks, I don't know. Sometimes, you know, I have a lot to say. I'm quick with words, but it's hard for me at this point to say something in my ordinary way. I think this one has to go solely in the realm of verse, and not much I can say on it by myself, as myself, or it's more the muse speaking here, and I think we need to say this about Natasha. Never met someone so quick to help and slow to worry about herself. Some speed in between with the jokes she'd tell. To light, she gave her life. Natasha spoke out sharp against all wrongs, but she always tried to get along. Never met someone quite so strong who knew might does not make right. Never met someone who so believed that everyone could be redeemed. Among heroes past she'll be received in bright Lathander's light. We'll never meet someone like her again, not if we make 10,000 friends. Though without her we may all meet our ends, her light still guides our fight. Hangs the lantern on the card.
Thank
And
you.
may there be,
By the
may
way.
there be one more star among the constellations.
Oren's just a blubbering mess right now. Just like uncontrollable.
Well, yes, and again, in full practical mode, Henrik has done this on 3 HP. Just like, fuck it, I'm just doing
yeah.
this.
I think
Yeah,
um,
we're a
we're
mess.
laying Natasha's body on the cart and covering it, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Once that is
Wrapping it up
done,
in a bit of
it's fair
blankie.
to say that you guys would draw camp for the night. Like, there's really not a huge amount else I think you could do at this time. A lot of you are kind of, apart from Torin, who's feeling kind of all right-ish.
No.
No, okay,
Torin.
your token is lying. The rest of
Torin-
you.
Oh, yeah, my token is lying. I'm literally on the brink of death.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't
right.
know if it's worth moving away from this place or if we just are pretty confident that the activity
The
of
big
the people
dude
is.
kind of ate everything.
Yeah.
You should be all right. And besides, you can't really go any further. The bridge is broken.
I see this path does, yeah, because I wasn't sure if we had gone out to the. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. So basically, the bridge is broken. It's fair to say that you guys can set up camp under the stars, and you can go ahead and take a long rest. As even with a, sure you'll set a very vigilant watch, but realistically, nothing comes by at this time of night. As you wake the following morning, you hear the sound of hooves on the road behind you. Sort of approaching either your camp or the broken bridge, you're not sure. Hey, you, Bruno. Please go ahead and describe your character.
Oh.
So, approaching in a large warhorse, you see a tall man, about 6 foot. He has brown hair tied up in a bun with the sides shaved. You can see that there's a few scars around his head. He is Caucasian and he's got brown eyes. He is wearing heavy armor as well, that you can also see has been marked quite a few times by the slashes of sword and the poundings of hammers. It doesn't look like he keeps away from a fight.
And Bruno, as you ride in, you see. Let's go ahead and map you. You should be able to see, right? You're sort of at this point on the road. Oh no, go stop. There we go. And to your right, you see a campfire. And what looks like the beginnings of breakfast. And to your left, you see ahead that the bridge across the river is broken. You've probably ridden this trail before at some time, so you would know that this bridge is the main path. Will take you onwards.
Well, I could just jump over the bridge if I get enough of a head start, but I am kind of hungry.
Well, because the bridge obviously has crumbled in the middle, I will say it is not a stone bridge. It is a wooden bridge. Because there's a break in the middle, it may be difficult to even jump it because you wouldn't be able to get even on the earlier bits, right? Because it's going to break down.
I could probably jump it with my athletics, but I'd have to leave my horse behind.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
And there's these fine folk here, I think to myself, in this scrawny teenage voice. So I'll approach you guys. Morning.
Good morning, traveler.
Don't suppose you got some food on the breakfast table, do ya? Sorry, just woke
pretty.
up.
You all right? So pretty light fare this morning. Had a difficult night last night. Where are you heading?
Just the road ahead.
Well, it's like to be pretty dangerous. We've been dealing with quite a few stations of some sort of organized group of assassins along the road.
Ah! Was it you lot that killed the orc back there?
Yeah, I suppose that was us.
Oh yes, it was us. Yeah.
Joy, comrades! Another orc defeated is an orc that is good. Let me hear more of your tales, perhaps over this breakfast you speak of.
I'll Torn will sort of like turn to like, maybe not turn, but like sort of lean over to Hennig and sort of say, "Should we let this ruffian feast with us this morning, Hennig?"
Well, it's not the time I'd necessarily be so interested, but hospitality requires certain things. Supposing it were us on the road alone.
This stranger isn't wearing bracelets, is he?
I'm not
No.
wearing bracelets at
Most
this time.
definitely not.
Yeah.
Probably
Oh,
can't
as
see
long-
his arms, by the way.
It doesn't seem like an assassin. Yeah.
At least not one that's going to explode.
Yeah.
All right,
Welcome.
friend, come on over.
Come have a seat, friend.
I'll dismount.
Torn will offer whatever he has on his persons at the time. I don't know what we have for breakfast. What do we have for breakfast?
I think it's just some sad oatmeal this morning.
Plain sad oatmeal.
The oatmeal is
What?
sad as the party.
Whatever I could just sort of sit there to soak and boil and not think too hard about it.
If I'm correct, most of you aren't wearing heavy armor, right? You're just wearing
No.
the clothes you had. Okay.
I'm wearing
Literally robes.
Hannick and I are wearing leather armor, or studded leather and leather armor.
So Alessia's gonna lean in, eating the porridge. So tell me, what is a group of unarmed peasants doing here in the road?
To be fair, they don't look unarmed.
Yeah, we're armed, just not
In
just not well protected.
Hennig, Kiev, and Sebastian.
I think Henrik
That's
has
true.
a weapon.
Henrik has like a
Sebastian
dagger.
has a staff.
So Hennig has.
I guess
a
we are kind of
dagger,
unarmed, actually.
Sebastian
Yeah.
has a staff. I stand what I said.
So Sebastian's kind of spent this morning like writing those scrolls into his spellbook, and he's been pretty quiet. And then hearing this guy call him a peasant, like if looks could kill Sebastian's look, this guy is like evil. And then he like lowers his head back down to his book as he like continues writing in it.
I'll look over and I'll say, I reckon your cat's got rabies.
It's got a lot more than that, mate. But I do suppose that we are villagers, aren't we? After all, from Sandringham, we are. Heard of it?
You're from Sandringham? With the
Aye.
warhorse?
Aye, born and raised.
Last I was there, they couldn't even afford wheat, let alone a warhorse.
Well, I do suppose we've come a long way, hey boys.
We've managed to acquire some things for need, of course. Been traveling around a bit.
And whereabouts are you going now, mate?
Well, that's a fine question. I don't mean to trouble you, sir, but Well, perhaps you're not too far off in our unpreparedness. We lost a member of our party last night, and I'm wondering whether it makes sense to press on just now or not.
Aye. So that's that smell.
I don't think it's been quite that long.
I
For a
do
little
smell a
respect.
dead body. Sorry, go ahead.
For a
Sebastian's
little
gonna
respect, yeah.
Sebastian's gonna look over to this guy, and he's gonna like the orb on Sebastian's head is gonna glow as I cast a message to him. I'm like still giving him like the evilest look, and I'm just gonna say, "You came here, are eating our food, and you continue to be disrespectful. You should watch yourself around these parts, and then stop communication and go back to looking at his book."
I'll look at the cat. It's rather funny you let your cat going off around without a leash. Should put a ball gag on his mouth to keep him from talking to people he don't want to be talked to.
To be frank, I don't think even that would stop him.
I'll slap my knee. You're a funny one.
Yeah, occasionally. What's your name, friend?
I'm sorry, the food's a bit dry. I'm not used to eating dry porridge. Aye. My name's Alessio. But you can call me
Alessio.
McPherson. Everybody does. It's my last name.
McPherson. And where do you hail from, McPherson?
A little bit of everywhere, to be honest. I've been to Harbondon, spent there my life mostly, been around, bits and bobs, doing things. By yourselves?
As we said, villagers from Sandringham, but seems we've got caught up in a bit of, I don't even know what to call it, adventure, perhaps.
Ah, yes. But the question I asked you, where are you all going?
Well, if we decide to do so, we're heading first, I believe, to see what is known as the grandfather over in Corman. To the border.
Is that where I'm going, James?
You are headed to an outpost on the border of Corman and Johnston, where the only road to Corman. Well, technically there's two roads to Corman, but you would know that by what they're saying, they're heading on the same road as you. Yes.
We also
Okay.
do we have business at the Urac State?
You
Oh,
do
yeah,
have business in the
afterward, I
Urac
think.
State and business in
Theoretically.
Veralia and probably
In
some
Veralia
business
as
left
well,
back
that's
in
true.
Lorvalen, but realistically, the aim is for you guys to get to the outpost on the border where you were to requisition
Yes.
40 soldiers and take them to
Yes, exactly.
take them to
grandfather.
Safeton. Yes. Corman. You can put us on the map if that makes life easier.
Yeah, that would make.
Okay.
Just to get a look at.
Now that we're on that topic, how far out, like what portion of this journey have we already done? Because it's only been like a couple of days, and this was going to be like 2 weeks or something, right?
No. To get to the border of Safeton would take you about 6 days, maybe 7. And this is probably day 4 or 5. If you remember, we did skip
Okay.
a couple of days where
Right,
there
right,
were
right.
combats,
I
but
do
we didn't
remember
play
that.
them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I was
So
thinking
probably
like,
a couple of
if
days
we're like
away.
2 days out of 10 days, we should probably go back.
Yeah.
But
No.
So upon Henrik saying this, I will reply to you, Henrik, and say, "Ah, glorious! Our fates have come together in this journey, for that I am also traveling to Corman."
That's very interesting, friend. You're quite tall to be traveling to Corman, no?
But last I've heard, height has nothing to do with traveling requirements. What are you on about?
Sorry, Torno sort of snickered to himself. But how stupid that joke was.
Right now, though, it is fair to say that your biggest problem is that there is a broken bridge in front of you. If you're on the road, right, which is why this traveler has stopped, so it should probably be mentioned.
Right.
What happened to Annabelle? She gone? Natasha's horse.
Ah, right. Sorry. Yes, I wasn't very attached to the horse.
Does anyone need it? Because like I feel like she would have
No.
just run off unless.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Yeah,
she
let's
probably
just-
just ran off.
Let's just have it
Hmm.
flee into the distance.
Unless Cavo wants to trade up.
Yeah, 60 gold,
True.
well wasted.
I don't
I
think
mean,
I'd be able to ride the thing,
oh
right?
my
He
God,
can't
it's
ride it.
True,
He
true,
can't
yeah,
ride
that's
it.
true.
He needs a specific one.
You're too big. We're both too big, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
You got your own.
Shall we sort the bridge then?
I suppose so.
Don't suppose one of you clever spellcasters could whiz off your hands or
Oh, they're
Play
useful
it.
and armed now, are they?
play play a little string, maybe get the bridge fixed.
yes,
Sebastian's
Cavo.
ignoring you.
Cavo, you've
No,
been awfully
can do.
quiet.
What did you say, Jimmy? Sorry.
No, can do.
You can't do anything about it?
Or you don't want to do anything about it.
Yeah, which one?
I just don't want to right now at this moment in time. But I can do, and I will do eventually. But at this moment in time, I'll turn to the companions. Well, turn to the rest of our companions. Maybe a more pressing matter that should be discussed first. What of Natasha? She's got to go home, right?
Yeah, no. I was wondering whether we should just turn back, knowing that we've, well, especially if this fella has followed us behind, then I guess we've successfully, or for the most part, cleared out the way back. It might be the safest way to get her someplace where she could be returned
Well-
home, or at least to a temple.
Well, certainly there's something that we can do. I mean, I've heard of magics that raise the dead. Why couldn't we do the same for Natasha?
That. Well, I can certainly say that's nothing that we can do. We might be able to find a temple. But
Or do we not travel to the Urak state? Certainly someone there could have some insight.
we
That's
can only
fine.
hope so.
Sebastian will look up and look to Torin. Would she even want that? If she's with her god now, does she want to come back?
She would have the choice, right?
I mean, Sebastian, I don't know anybody that would rather stay in the land of the dead than remain in the living.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but I think Yavo may be correct. Obviously, he knows the magics far more than I do. What little I've heard of it.
I don't know, but I would hope someone would have the choice if they wanted to go back and they didn't want to stay again with the living. Well, there's not thinking about, but
Well, regardless, we've come too far now to turn back around. I propose that we take her with us.
I think you're right, Torin. I think you may be right.
Until we find a suitable place, then, yes?
All right.
And onwards.
I just,
With that, I'll immediately stand up, move towards the bridge, and begin casting mending upon everything that I can, and trying to piece things together and just getting to work with it.
Yeah, I mean, mending can fix things that are broken, but it can't produce more bridge.
I'll fix what I can.
Yeah, between the rest of the group, while you're doing that, somebody's probably going to have to grab some lumber, maybe. Split some wood across. That's
All right, then, McPherson.
Just to give you guys an image of this bridge, sorry, I probably should have started with this. The river doesn't run particularly deep. It's only sort of 5-10 feet deep. But that's steep enough that a horse going through it is not gonna, as a cart going through it's not gonna happen, right? The bridge itself was about 45 foot in length. It's got about a 20-foot crashed break in the middle. It was once held up by a pillar. You can fix the pillar if you just stand it up, but you're missing the bridge bit, right? On the top, and yeah, that's sort of what that looks
So I can actually jump to the other side that is covered by my strength distance.
yeah, by technicality, D&D characters can jump very weird, strange lengths and distances.
super.
But what you've got to remember is that you can't jump off an unstable platform, right? So instead, you'd be attempting to jump the 55 feet of the entire bridge, or you'd be risking running 20 foot along broken wood and that may or may not collapse under your weight, and then landing on the other side on broken wood that may or may collapse under your weight.
Will that be an acrobatics check?
No, it'll be a straight up, it's not possible. Nobody, horse or not, can jump 55 feet unless magic's involved.
Oh, true.
You know, obviously, if you were to cast things that allowed you to jump extreme distances and or float or fly, then sure. But just making a straight jump at it, no. You drop tragically on the floor and die. And you can make a druid.
Meet Natasha.
So regardless, Sebastian, do you have anything to contribute towards this broken bridge?
Not particularly. I mean, I could have had the fly spell prepared, but that would only be 2 people, and it would also be my one and only 4th level spell slot.
Okay, and you couldn't particularly flies a 3rd level spell.
Yeah, but to cast it on 2 people, I would
I
have
see
to
what
use
you
it.
mean. Yeah. And you're not going to use anything new to. We'll assume not. I don't want to give away any spoilers.
No, I am not.
Is the water running particularly fast? Is it like
No.
sort of?
No,
So
and
we
I
can
would
just
say,
go down.
well, maybe, but you can't. The cart would be underwater. I think it's fair to say that with your sort of skills as a group, you can probably just sort of cut down, actually like do the manual labor, right?
Torn was sort of gonna be like, McPherson, come on, let's make ourselves useful.
Aye.
Can we go back to the map, James?
Yeah, it's just annoying because it's gonna. It didn't. Okay. Yeah, it randomly kept stopping the music, so I didn't want to keep like going up, going down, going up. Yeah, the picture's not very good to be fair because it's a wooden bridge and it's got a but there are trees around and whatever. In all fairness, all you need is the materials. I think Hennick has the ability to sort of guide them in place telekinetically. He doesn't talk to the.
You tree over.
Maybe he does actually. You know?
Probably better at that, actually.
But I'm assuming Hennick will guide you in the most sensible way to sort of repair something so rustic. And with Chiavo's magics, it'll take you sort of the good half of the day, but eventually you are able to make a bridge across sturdy enough for the cart.
Speaking of magics, there's something I need to practice today as well. Last thing we want is another person dying as well. The daily mage armor casting.
Oh yes. Yeah, I think both of you would have cast mage armor this morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Joshua's lost today now, 24 hours. Chiavo, go ahead and roll me a d4.
That's a 3.
Yeah, oh, excuse me. I just seem to be getting the hang of this in the last 7 hours. Which isn't bad.
Not bad at all.
Cool. And with you all sort of mage armored up, once the bridge is sort of ready to go, you guys are able to cross. And I assume that with full caution of riding down the road.
Yeah.
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 I think Torn might be sort of riding alongside McPherson for the time being. We sort of bonded maybe a little over chopping wood and just shooting the shit, you know.
Sebastian's definitely riding behind McPherson, just keeping an eye on him.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I'll.
for sure.
Do we have some time to talk?
Yeah, you have all the time in the world.
I'll then lean into Torin. I've got to ask, why in the faith's names are you traveling with people that bear no arms?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. Perhaps, I mean, we're on definitely more of a diplomatic mission than that of slaying orcs and the lot. Well, you see, we have a little insight on this war that's happening, and got some pertinent information. Pass on.
So it was all of you that slaughtered the orc, not just yourself.
Well, that's correct, although I dealt the finishing blow. Actually, it was my companion Natasha who ended up taking down the orc. Think, wasn't it?
Make
I think
make
Natasha.
that like you wouldn't know.
I think Natasha knocked him out, and then we had the whole thing about whether we were gonna let him live or not, and then Torrin sort of gave him the.
Is that the body you're carrying in the cart?
Ah, it is.
I see.
Terrible fate for the young girl before her prime.
My apologies. It is never easy to truly lose someone, especially in these times. I would know.
I was going to say, you look like no stranger to battle.
Yes, I've been in the front lines a few times, but it just wasn't meant to be. My fate changed.
What may I ask? Kind of business do you have in Corbin?
I've been hired to travel there and to. I'll start going through my bag looking for the quest.
Yeah, you should have it. Do you not?
I have been asked to investigate the border guard outpost of Rauben by Corman. It seems that the last magical message sent from there was that everyone had been poisoned. And considering I am dispensable, I don't know what the word is. They've sent
Expendable.
me. Expendable, they've sent
Expendable.
me.
Oh, you are just going to tell them that? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Poisoned, you say? That's not good. Henrik, what do you make of this?
What's that? This is the border post. Trouble up there. Wasn't not sure exactly what you're all talking about back there, but poison, you say?
Yes, apparently this man has been tasked with investigating the outpost.
Well, I suppose that'll be on our list as well. We ain't gonna be able to requisition soldiers if they're all ill or poisoned or what have you.
Dead or otherwise
Or
out of
dead.
action.
Yeah,
Halfling, did you say your name was Henrik?
it is indeed Henrik Littlefield.
Ah. Well, Henrik, perhaps this should become the priority of your list, because it seems that whoever is associated with whatever is happening at Corman is part of the strains that will be cut when the poison continues to flow.
Now, I've spent a lot of my life talking in roundabout analogies, and I'm not sure I followed that one, my friend.
I'm sorry. I always wanted to be a performer, so I tend to talk in slightly performative text. What I'm trying to say here, good sir, is that you might be in danger by mere association.
Yeah, I think from what we've seen, anybody even heading down this road is in plenty of danger, and everybody just about everywhere is in danger these days. But I do wonder if we're going to get there and find, if there's some possibility we're going to find we can't even get the soldiers we've been sent there to get. And we've got, well, we nearly all died, even with Natasha, and now we don't have her. I don't know, folks. I do wonder if we're making out ourselves to be more capable than we really are if we're pressing on.
Well, we are no strangers to danger at this point.
Yes,
Oh, that's
nonsense. Nonsense, Henrik. We've come a long way.
Fear not, comrades. I shall battle with you when the fight comes. You will not be by yourselves. You have got my rapier by your side, and also my longsword, and I'll put them back in, and also my whip, and also my mace, and a few of my daggers. We will be prepared.
Let's.
I was almost
Alright,
expecting
then,
a bow with that as well.
It's good to know, McPherson. I've got my own sword. And I sort of like pat the old Fang on the hip.
Well, Torin, I'm sure the sword will come in handy, but without Natasha, we may need to make sure you focused on some of that light you can put out when bringing people back to a bit of health. I can do a bit myself, but we do need to be cautious without Natasha's ministrations, I think. But yeah, we didn't build a bridge for nothing. Onward it is, but keep on our guard. I think there'd be plenty of trouble before we ever get to this poisoned outpost if those notes we saw before are anything to go by.
Right. Proceed with caution, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are able to lunch up. And as you head on down the road and sort of all get to know each other, after a little while, you get the impression as you reach a sort of propped outpost. What are you two? Okay. Do I need to let you guys go back to talking? Yeah, you come to sort of a clearing on the road where I can't even. Yeah. I'm just gonna stop looking at the screen. Your road sort of peters off into a clearing where there are some trees and sort of the path is very badly maintained. Sharp eyes. Who's sharp eyes these days? Nobody's sharp eyes these days. Who's got the highest passive perception now? Is that Sebastian? Maybe.
Oh, that would be me.
I'm at
that
16.
would be. I'm at 19 because of the shield.
Nice.
Ah, right.
Jeez.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so Torin, as you look ahead, you see that it looks like some of the rubble and the dirt and the leaves on this road have been placed instead of just fallen, as you might expect.
I'll stop everybody. Halt!
Might there be danger ahead?
Whoa.
For
I don't like
reference.
the look of this road. That's unnatural. I've seen leaves and rocks on the road in my day, and well, this looks almost planned. I don't like
Planned,
it.
you say?
Yes. Yes.
I will take an action to poison my dagger.
Mm-hmm.
I think Torn probably draw a sword as well, and keep your wits about you.
As you go a little further, you can smell just faintly the scent of a campfire to your north. And indeed, you can move up a little bit further and you see a campfire that's been abandoned. A camp with a tent, a campfire, another tent, and it seems to have been abandoned.
Sorry, hold on.
Okay, James, I'm gonna draw. I know I said my rapier and longsword, but I'm gonna
Sure.
keep my rapier and my whip drawn.
It's no difference to me as long as you've got one light weapon.
Oh, okay. I don't want you to be like, oh, you didn't say you didn't draw it.
I
And I'll be
it
like,
doesn't bother me
no!
at all, as the
Oh.
weapons are all relatively similar mechanically, so.
Sick.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Sorry,
see
I was just
what appears to be an abandoned campsite.
I mean, I think if nothing else, I would just skip a rock along this area where there's leaves placed along just to make sure if there's any sort of mechanical kind of
Yeah, most definitely. Bear with me a second. Just gonna wait for this to load. Doop, 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 doop. Here we go. Yeah, you see a couple of pits sort of dug out, if you like. Badly covered in leaves. It's not a good trap. I'll give it that.
I must admit, I'm not the brightest, but this is definitely a trap, right?
Well,
Yeah, well,
for who? Right?
something.
The campsite seems to be abandoned. That's my point.
Well, perhaps we should inspect this campsite. Look for stragglers.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You've got my rapier behind you.
And Torin will walk up to the campsite,
Okay.
avoiding this large pit.
Yep.
Is there no way for this thing to ever remember my new health when we go to a new map? Every time.
I know. I have to reset my.
I
reset mine
can
as soon as you
do
got dropped
it.
off.
But yeah, I haven't.
That's fine. I'm not trying
I'm
to make
just
you
trying
have
to
work.
do
I'm just wondering if I did something
7
wrong.
million things.
Yeah,
No. It's
it's
me.
something that needs updating later. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't resave your token, which is really dumb because you should be able to resave your token. But you
Yeah,
can
I
only
don't know why.
resave it if you've made a character sheet in Roll20. Is your
I
HP
see.
now correct, Henrik?
Yeah, I've adjusted it now.
Okay. It is.
I just a lot of times I'm like, with this and the other campaign too, I'm like, we're well into a fight, and I'm like, oh, you might think I have 4 HP or something, but I don't. Or other way around.
No. But
But we're good.
Yeah. I'll
Just
fix it
curious
while
if there was
we're-
something stupid I needed to click.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's now preserved. Cool.
Oh, can you do me? Can you do Torin? as
Yeah,
well?
I'm doing Kiavo and
Thank
Torin
you.
as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Alright, yeah,
there's a
also-
construct on the board that isn't usable by anybody. That it belongs to the Josh thing.
Do you want me to delete it? It's not actually summoned.
Yeah, and like I don't know. Your health bar is in the wrong place, and
Oh dear.
no, you being the new person, new character.
Oh.
The picture for that summon construct is so cute. It's like a stone dog or something.
Yeah.
I like it.
Really good.
50. Do that. I don't know your armor class, and frankly, right now I don't care. Great. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Campsite. Sorry, Torin. Investigation check. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get back to that.
Oh, that's not too bad actually for Torin. It's 17.
Yeah.
Paying attention
So you're
today.
rifling around and ruffling around, and you find a sheaf of letters bound with a single piece of leather. And you find a dagger, just a normal dagger that's been left, sort of by the bed of one of the two bedrolls in here. It was definitely a campsite for two in one tent and for one in the other. The two are well separated. They don't appear to be a couple.
Mm-hmm. I'll
Um,
flip up the dagger at our new friend.
I'll grab it and I'll put it in. I know exactly what happened here. That couple had a fight.
Specifically, I did just say they are not a couple, as their beds on
And
the
they
other side of the room.
separated their beds and then left after the ruckus.
Yes, and I
Sorry.
left all these letters in the dagger.
Let me just give you a couple bits of more information first. Somebody sounds like they're on an aeroplane. You see that there is burnt out food over the campfire that looks like it was cooking and has then been abandoned and has burnt itself out. Henrik, if you wish to give me a cooking check to try and work out how long that food has been left cooking.
Why
That'd be
not?
great. And in the other tent, you notice where everything has been carefully put away and packed, and like the tent hasn't been packed up, but like the bedroll is nice and rolled up in the corner. There is, everything's been removed from the tent. Sorry, Henrik, that was a
Just a 13.
cool. Yeah. It looks like this food was put on this morning. It's not been burning more than a day. More specific than that, I can't. You can't get with that cooking check. It's because they're cooking rubbish food. It looks like gruel.
I was gonna say Torrin is gonna bring over the leather-bound letters and hand them to Chiavo and ask him to sort of make sense of what's going on right now.
Yeah, Chiavo, you'll make sense of these pretty quickly because you've seen one sheaf of letters like this before.
Yeah.
And they were messages between the outposts and assassins. From what you can garner, this is outpost 9. No, sorry, outpost 10. And the most recent letter from outpost 9 says people have been dying on our people have been dying on the road from Lorvalen. We're going to attempt to find a better way of obstructing them.
From Lorvalen.
So the road, the people have been dying the way that you guys have been walking. E.g., your characters have been slaying outposts. They're going to try and find they're going to try and find a bigger way to stop you from outpost 9, which is the one you just cleared.
So we
the one we just cleared.
Yeah, I think that was the bigger way to stop us. Basically, that summoned fiend.
Well incited, Mr. Torrin. even
something,
Golden
something
Brad
tells me
got
these
that
holes.
No, Torrin would have never figured that out. Only Rico.
Sorry, Headache. What were you say? Something tells you.
Oh no, I was just agreeing that something tells me these holes were not the big new plan.
These holes are definitely not the big new plan.
Did I hear you defeated a fiend?
Yes, it was rather gigantic, actually. Did you not see it? Or did it, like, burn up into nothing, basically?
No, it would have dissipated into dust. It was sent back into its own plane, right? You didn't actually kill it, you just sent it back to the abyss for another 100 years.
Yes, exactly.
And you have all done this, not just yourself, Torrin.
Oh, yes, of course. We are quite a capable group, McPherson, although it was in said fight in which we lost our dearest Natasha.
Yet again, my apologies, but it seems my observations at first were misguided. Perhaps you are more capable than I thought. And he'll look at the other 3 that he was slagging off at the beginning.
Yeah, we don't all wear our capabilities on our rolled up sleeves, my friend.
Point taken.
At this moment, you hear a sort of crackling out to the west, Torrin. And with your shield of sentinel, which I completely forgot you had, to be fair, you're definitely more than aware enough to know that somebody's trying to sneak up on you.
Montabruche gave me the shield. I don't know if you remember.
Yes, I remember now.
I'll snap my head to the left, and after hearing that, I will draw the sword and let everybody know. Get ready for a fight.
Are you mounting up?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. After a few minutes, a young man sort of creeps out from behind the trees. He's wearing nothing but a simple tunic. Looks up. Hi.
Speak, man. State your business.
Business? I got no business. There are assassins on the road. Ed, you should be warned.
And what of yourself?
I'm from Oislet. It's a little village, just off the track, down the road a little bit. Some nasty fellas, they came into our village. They requisitioned us, if you would. They're holding down our inn. Eating our food. They're getting very handsy with my wife. Go ahead, Brian.
I just want to use my Know Your Enemy class feature, which will tell me, in comparison to my own, this creature's strength score, dexterity, con, armor class, current HP, class levels, if any, fighter levels, if
Irrelevant.
any. Okay, so just a peasant.
He's
Truly is a peasant.
He's got 4 HP and he's a commoner. You can see that by the sort of he's sort of that thin, weathered, strong. You know, he's in his early
Right.
50s, but he looks like he could probably walk about 35 miles. But if he picked up a sword, he wouldn't really be able to swing it effectively
Oh.
enough to connect with somebody.
I will relay this to the people talking to him, but like in muttered tones that he's not a threat.
I heard him talking that apparently some powerful people were coming up the road and trying to kill him, and they wanted to have a good meal and enjoy themselves before the fight. They were talking about how they were going to kill him, and I thought anybody heroic's coming up this road, they ought to be forewarned, and maybe they could help my little village.
Well, fear not, my friend. We are the ones that they speak of.
I did think you
And
might
it's very
be.
clear at this point they're onto us.
I've never seen one of your kind, or one of your kind, or one of your kind. And he points to the Dragonborn, the Leonin, and then the little cat.
You've never seen a cat before.
Not on two legs, sir. And
yes,
begging your
I do
pardon,
suppose
he
that
looks
is.
a bit more intelligent than your normal cat.
Just
A bit.
barely.
Did you say somewhat?
Barely. Ouch.
No, I said just barely.
Ouch.
Harsh and very untrue.
I'm just
Ow.
kidding. Sebastian is a child genius.
It's not a child!
Isn't he like 14? Isn't Sebastian like 14?
No, he's like 20.
22?
But he,
Oh, I always thought Sebastian was like 14, 16 years old. or something.
no.
But he just went through puberty
really
and came
loves
out on the other
parents.
side as a cat?
Yeah.
I will speak to the man and I'll say, and I'll have you know that these people that you've never seen before have defeated a fiend, or so I've heard.
Fiend?
Yes.
I'm not sure. Like I've had some real tough vegetables on the farm sometimes that are a fiend to get up. Like the phrase.
Big demon, lad. A big demon.
Demon. Oh.
A demon.
Well, these people
Have some respect.
are perfectly human, and they're in my village. Do you think you could be of help?
Bloody missed the point, mate.
McPherson, we don't see too much need to advertise and ballyhoo about these things. As you can see, trouble enough arises just from the word getting around, based on the deeds themselves. But I do think it seems a bit our responsibility at this point. Not only do we want to press on and take care of these people, but we seem to have perhaps inadvertently caused things to go worse in this village.
Aye. If it's true what you say, that you and your comrades have truly defeated a fiend, then I would be honored to lend you my rapier and my longsword and my whip. It will
Yes,
carry
yes,
on.
yes. We know.
Well,
Uh,
you'll help then?
of course we will. Isn't that
We're
right,
all in
Cat?
agreement.
Go.
I'll lead you back there.
Indeed, lead the way.
And indeed he does. He leads you to the edge of... Well, he's been a bit glorious calling it a village.
It's one building, isn't it? I bet.
No, it's four.
A hamlet, then.
Oh, why is it?
Yes, a hamlet is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, let me take those off. You guys are not actually... Can you guys see this without putting a token on, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and
Are
put
you-
your tokens at the bottom then.
Are you talking about the ping? I see the ping.
Yeah, but do you see the map?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Now I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are actually a long, long way away.
Okay.
But I'm just sort of...
For the sake of seeing the village.
For the sake of being able to see. Unless she doesn't want to see. Okay, unless you can see. It's now daylight, right? You can all see, correct? Yeah, great.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, you see a collection of sort of four buildings, and he points from a long way away. We're not really going to use what's in the buildings. It's just a case of something to fight. But he sort of points down to the one at the back from at the top of the screen for you guys, and says, "You see, that's the inn, and that's where some of them are sort of hiding out." And he points to the building to the right, and that's the old manse. No one lives there now, but there used to be some bit more well-to-do fellas that live there, and I think some of those nasty folk might be using that building as well. begging pardon, but the back left is my own house. Me and
It's a very nice house.
oh, well, thank you. Yeah, my father's house actually. Me and Phoebe, we live there, and then with our 2 daughters, and then there's well, there's this, and he sort of that's Thomas's house. I think he. I don't want to put bad words on someone who I've grown up with, and known a long, long time, but Thomas, I think he knows these people. Or maybe he's helping them or works for them or something. He seems very comfortable with them.
Well, besides this Thomas, how many of these folk are there?
5, I think.
Is Thomas alone currently, or
What do you
is
mean?
he in the company of? Is he in the company of these men?
He was at the inn talking with him.
Oh, I see.
Shall we ambush them?
That would be a good idea, McPherson.
Just remember that
I must admit.
there are a family who run the inn and live in the inn and above the inn,
What about in the building to the right, where there's some of them?
I don't think that there's any people living there. That certainly haven't been for a long time. But Licia and Solomon, they run the inn with their 3 boys. Yeah, you don't want to hurt them. It's like don't want to set it on fire or anything. No. We've got a couple of outliers as well, a couple of hermits, and people who keep themselves to themselves a little further out of town, if you know what I mean. But yeah, just obviously, I came to you because I want to protect our people, not our villagers.
Did anyone you notice seem to be in charge?
Yeah. Funny type. He had one of those sort of. He's got a dark red cloak on and a couple of swords. They're curvy swords, weird swords, He's got good armor, shiny armor on, We don't see that very often. There was another type, though, who, begging pardons, he looked a bit like a shady type. Maybe a wizardy type. But the woman who went into the other building, the posh building, she looked mighty dangerous. To be honest, they all look mighty dangerous. But I think the one who was in charge is the one in the inn. He was a loud fella, big red cloak, with scimitars. He did a lot of the shouting.
Yeah, I'm sure they're all dangerous. That's why we're here. But just wondering if there might be one who could give orders to the others.
Well, perhaps maybe we should dispatch the ones in this more private building before we decide to storm the inn.
Well, I do worry about if we cause too much commotion doing that, then the ones in the inn will surely know that we're here. And perhaps threaten the inn family.
As you do watch, you do see one gentleman. He looks... you've seen one like this before. He's got a crossbow and a sword. They usually pop out of invisibility randomly at you. And he's wearing a bracelet. And he walks from the building on the right to the building in the center. Actually, we could probably put him on the map, to be fair. He walks... Let's do that. Oh, God. There we go. Okay, cool.
Well, I don't suppose we could utilize our advantage for our benefit. You mentioned that these bandits, mercenaries, they were seeking your demise. Is that correct?
That may be true, yes.
It appears so.
Glorious! Therefore, they do not know that I exist. We can create the perfect ambush. I shall go in, lure them out, where you shall be positioned to destroy them.
Well, I don't know that they know. Now, they may, but I don't know that they know particularly who we are. They just might know there are some folk coming along who've been causing their other members trouble, and they might just assume you're part of that if you've made it thus far.
Aye, good point. You have brain that I lack.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Although, McPherson does have the advantage of looking like most everyone else in Jolston. We do tend to stick out a little, don't you think? I'll look over at Chiavo, and then down Sebastian.
As you look down to Sebastian, he's also looking about Chiava.
Wow, I would say I feel incredibly offended, but no, I'm not.
I mean, you're an
I
8-foot
just
tall
feel
lion.
slighted.
I'm an
You're a
8-foot tall
9-foot tall
dragon.
dragonborn, right? Both of you stand out
Exactly.
like sore thumbs.
We're pretty massive.
Yeah, whereas most people don't even notice Sebastian.
Sebastian, I can't believe you've done this.
Regardless, as you watch, this little guy does go in the inn. I don't know if you guys can see behind the doors. Can you see behind the doors?
No, we
Okay,
can't.
cool, good. That's good.
Shall
Well,
we
there's like
put...
these are like porch areas. Is that what's going on? What do you see?
Yeah, I think they're like decking or porch areas,
okay,
or
cool.
I don't know, there's something.
I was just wondering if like the shadows weren't lined up right, but it looks right.
Yeah.
If those are decks, cool.
All right. Yeah. So as you guys look down and start your plan, I think we're gonna take our break early today.
Right.
So yeah, we'll be back in 5-6 minutes. We won't.
All right.
We'll be 10 at least. We always are. Oh, welcome back to the second half of Beldania. And our party finds themselves looking out over a collection of 4 or 5 buildings where they know some assassins to be down below, but those assassins have sort of requisitioned the village. What are we doing?
Well, I'm going to be consulting my spellbook and muttering to myself, might need your help for this one, Theseus. Trial by fire. I think I got this time.
And if you do so, he'll sort of, oh, not again. And, no, that's not his voice, is it? Oh, not again. Surely not.
New spell, and I'm...
Say the words, wave your hands, magic happens.
Indeed.
It's not all that clever.
Well, thank you
Bit
for the
like
vote of
you,
confidence.
Something exciting, is it? Are we summoning demons?
Not quite that exciting, but let's just say people have been troubling us by being out of sight for too long. It's about time we gave them a taste of their own medicine.
Oh, so you're going to hide like a coward. Excellent decision. Otherwise, you'll definitely wind up dead.
Well, I was thinking a little bit more offensive than hiding, but... touche.
If you're going to die, can you do it near somebody more interesting?
Like the rest of my companions.
Hmm.
The cats.
Hmm. No, a great elven wizard or something would be nice.
Can't make any promises, Theseus. I'll try.
Go plan, guys.
Well, I think the biggest concern is, especially with those exploding bracelets, but even just their general threats. We want to get the innkeep family and whoever else is in there out, if at all possible. I suppose I could just try to compel them to do so with some strong and perhaps slightly magical words, but I don't know how to get up there and guarantee that happens and so on. Got a pretty good shot at it, but they're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to be talking to them to make it happen. So, if they just start shooting as soon as we walk into town, it's in trouble.
If this is...
Sorry?
Go on, Bruno.
You're saying Alessio?
Alright, I'll speak to Hennig. If your wish is to get the villagers out, then I shall serve as the meat bag that takes the arrows for you.
It's a kind offer, assuming it works and is helpful. I guess I can just walk behind you and we can walk up there and yell at them. But I would love to get my eyes on this this person with the cloak who might be in charge and try to tell him to sort of. I could suggest he send out the hostages for, safekeeping in another building alone or something like that. Doesn't have to make perfect sense, but gotta be somewhat reasonable.
So this will be more of a recon gathering mission as opposed to go in and destroy them all.
Well, I think that comes right after, most likely, to be perfectly honest.
Well,
Okay, for the sake of this, I'll just quickly go to the cart,
Yeah.
grab a shield, and I'll have it with me in case that is... I get the vibe that you just... Quickly out of character, I get the vibe you want to go in, just get the hostages out, and then deal with them.
Well, I would love to be able to spot the leader, hopefully cast suggestion on him, and suggest he send the hostages over to another building.
Then you have my shield.
Now, I don't know anything about him. He could be, completely resistant to charm and blah, 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 right? So I'm just suggesting a possible, way to think about this.
there is another avenue. If somebody wants to go in first and either find out some more, or maybe even begin the carnage, I can give someone some time. 1 minute, no more.
You might have to be metagamey specific about that. Because honestly,
Let's just
I don't
say
know
they've
when you're
had the fusion
casting.
advantage for far too long. It's about time we gave them a taste of their own medicine, right?
Does that spell apply to more than one person?
It's either time stop, pass without trace, invisibility, greater invisibility, possibly
Greater
fly.
invisibility,
Right,
yes.
yeah, come on, give you guys some specifics. They're not mind readers.
No,
The problem is he told some of us on the break and doesn't care that the rest of us the other people need to know too.
The DM would like to know, please.
That's greater
I was going to
invisibility,
talk this out, but okay. Well, you just want to
figured
sort of
as much.
straight up. Okay, fine. Yes, greater
I figured
invisibility.
I figured
no.
as much from the conversation with Theseus. So
Mhm.
I think spells can have names in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
indeed.
I
I
mean,
think that is where I'm at, basically. You see the guy who was before walking back. He walks across again. He didn't hop the decking. He walks across the middle of town, moves himself over, goes back up, and enters into the next building.
Is this the guy from before?
It's the same guy. He looks like a stabby. He looks like just one of the standard stabbies.
In
Regular old.
comparison to me, is his AC greater or lower? Minus
bear me a
17.
second. Bear me a second. I need to read the ability that you're using. No, I need to. I understand that you can read it out. I need to read it. My
That's
brain
fair.
doesn't absorb words like that. I have to read it out.
Fair.
So this is know thy enemy. If you spend at least 1 minute, right there you go. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It take 1 minute to walk across. Is there a distance at which it should be observed from?
It's the second time he's walked across. Otherwise,
I guess it's just it just seems like there should be a. I mean, okay, so his armor class is way lower than yours. You can assume that his strength score is lower than yours and his con score is lower than yours. Yeah, he's not a well-armored fighter.
Gotcha.
In fact, in almost all ways, his shit is lower than yours except for his dex score.
Could you mark him with a dot so I know who he is?
You can't see him right now.
Not right now, no.
Cool.
But for later.
He's the guy with the stabby dagger.
Gotcha. So, what is the plan, comrades?
well, Chiavo, if you can make someone invisible, and Hennick wants to try to talk this man down, perhaps we can combine the two efforts and even spook them out a little bit.
Perhaps. But I was more so thinking using the time while someone's invisible to, quite frankly, take as many of them out as we can. If we're doing this that way. Otherwise, yes, we could.
Yeah, I'm fine with the idea of having someone who can, if either when things go right or things go wrong with my idea, who can be in there to fight them immediately. thinking the trouble is the timing on it, that they can get in there and do what they need, be ready to do what they need to do, and I get up and talk to them all within a minute.
It's fair to say, guys, that obviously I've sort of chucked you on the map here. You're not actually necessarily here. You're kind of up on a hillside up to the right. If you wanted to sort of sneak around and try and approach from other angles, you don't have to walk from where your tokens are to where you want to be, right? You might approach in the back of another building. I'm just... Because obviously I don't have any more maps, so I can't put your tokens where you are.
Okay.
But yeah.
What Torn wanted to ask the villager, is there a rear entrance to the inn or...
there's a cellar out back. You could come in, go through the cellar and like it's just to be clear, a cellar in his language is not as we know it underground. It is more a case of it's a place where they store the wine and beer. Yeah, so it may be lower, it may not, but all it really means is that there's a back entrance with some barrels in it that will lead into the main inn.
I don't mean this in a disrespectful manner, but can't the Sebastian, couldn't you just sneak in there and do whatever cats do? Not be seen, jump around. I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure what exactly you do.
Sebastian's gonna turn to McPherson and what's so funny? Sebastian's gonna turn to McPherson and he's gonna look him up and down and he's gonna say, well, shouldn't you go in with all of your weapons and show us what you can do?
That is a glorious suggestion! Perhaps that shall be your plan!
Sebastian's gonna nod very enthusiastically. Yeah, go. Let's see.
Turtle, hand on McPherson. Settle down now. We'll figure this out.
Aye.
And what is the plan?
Oh, there's a plan?
So from what I gather,
next.
Hennick will go in and try to persuade
Can
the
I just
leader.
confirm, Hennick, are you just going to wander on in?
No, I mean, I'm kind of being a little Jamali and not wanting to just ask, hey, can someone also just make me regular invisible, at least so I could get close and see the guy while, I don't know, or something.
I was wondering. I don't know if either of them have invisibility.
I don't know if Sebastian has it.
But also, do we really want Hennick to go in by himself?
That would
No.
be...
No, not
like-
really.
We don't want to
No,
lose
not
Hennick.
really.
So what if you cast invisibility on Hennick, and then either me or Torin, who can take a few punches, go in as the face,
Yeah.
while Hennick
And
is
then-
doing the back.
And then Hennick can do is a suggestion.
In the most
from-
metagamey way possible. I don't know if McPherson realizes this, but or Bruno, but Rico has 18 charisma. I think you should probably send the paladin.
I don't mean as in I don't mean.
I
a
understand
face.
he's not the face,
I-
but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean
If
a face that can take a hit.
if there's
The Trojan
talking,
horse face.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So, looks
yeah.
like we have a
Well, I
plan.
mean, if
Should be
you're...
we can pincer attack. We can have the wizards and McPherson come through the cellar.
Right, if the
Me
attacking
and Hennick
people
will-
are not
will come in
invisible, there's no
front.
reason everybody shouldn't go. It's just that we want to try to avoid them immediately, stabbing the hostages or something.
Yeah,
at least
yeah,
until
yeah.
I can see somebody in charge and hopefully try to get them to send them away. But
So we've got a plan. The three of us will go through the cellar. Hennick and Torin will go in through the front with Hennick invisible.
it's an
Agreed.
idea.
Time to Scooby-Doo this shit.
okay. He will lead you to here, the three of you, and then he will point to sort of a door that's a little further down on the right, and he'll be like, "That's the cellar entrance.
Thank you.
If you're
for
gonna
your help.
sneak in, that's the way to do it." Are you guys gonna try and get in position before Hennick and Torin go in?
Ideally, but I do need to be next to. I do need to be next to Hennick if we're going to make him invisible. So I'll be the last one to move into position. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I guess I couldn't even come over with Kiava, so because Kiava's never going to be able to run all the way around the whole
yeah.
place during that. So I can just go
No,
over there
that's
with
true.
them, and I can approach it visibly from the back.
Okay, that
And we
works.
kind of have to be able to signal. Well, I have message as long as it's
Yeah, okay, cool,
120
that
feet or
works.
something. I
It's-
can tell Torn to go.
It's
Yeah.
not even vaguely that far. It's 75 feet. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So the group of you that are sneaking in after you make Hennig invisible, and sneaking in, I just need a stealth check from the three of you.
Is that 20 for a 24?
Oh my god, that's a nat 20.
2 nat 20s. How badly can you fuck this up, McPherson? In
Pretty
your heavy
badly,
armor with
considering I have
disadvantage?
the heaviest armor. I don't know if it might just be better for me to not go in at all yet.
You want to sort of wait and watch from, like, just the back of the building, maybe?
What if I wait until the guys go into the inn?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Do you want to wait and, like, watch and see what happens? Like, you could even wait from, like, over here, right? And see. I mean, you probably can't get that close, but, like, you wait from here and then, like, charge in. Depending on what's going on.
Okay, so let's let Sebastian and Chiavo go in. If there's no trouble for them, I'll stay outside of the inn, just
Okay.
ready to go in at any
Cool.
time.
Alright.
'Cause I
So
don't wanna-
Sebastian and
I don't wanna
Hennig,
hurt that.
you creep through, and Sebastian, as you reach your head around the corner of a door, you see that there are two fellows in here. One of them is wearing a red cloak with two swords in his back, and the other one appears to be a magic type. And they're conversing with the. It's not what it looks like in there, right? So they're conversing.
I was
with
hoping
the-
it was, because I'd be like hiding under the beds.
Well, no, because that's the top floor of the inn, right? And you're in the underneath, going up to the bottom floor of the inn. I don't have all that. Anyway, the important thing is that there are two of them sort of sat at the bar, quite relaxed. His weapons are on his back, but they're talking to the innkeeper and the innkeeper's wife. And to the side of them is a gentleman who looks a little rough, farmer type with a cudgel, who's chatting. I mean, he's just chatting about stupid stuff. They're talking about some sort of gambling game. They appear very relaxed and not much is going on. Torin, are you just going to go straight in? Sorry. Go on, Sebastian.
Is there a like what's lighting up this room? Is it like a torch or anything like that?
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 well-lit lanterns, a fireplace is lit, and there's windows. Daylight. Oh, I
didn't know if
realised
there
where
was
you were
windows or
going.
anything.
Yeah, I just realised we were going with that. Sorry, yeah, no. Torin, were you just headed straight in?
That was the plan, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
Just gonna trot up on Tamarin and sort of, you know.
Yeah. As you ride in, somebody that none of you have seen yet comes out onto the decking and looks at you and... Greetings, Dragonborn.
Hail, villager.
He doesn't look in any way like a villager.
Oh, what does he look like? He looks like
He's got she has like a sword in her hand. She has a bracelet on. She looks like she might stab you at some point.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say greetings, friend.
Hi. Are you looking for something? This village is currently off limits to strangers, I'm afraid.
Oh, nonsense. I just need an inn to rest my feet in. It's been a long day traveling on my own.
Perhaps you should come back with when evening falls.
What time is it right
3:30 in the afternoon.
now? Oh, okay. Oh, but I'm fearfully tired right now. Couldn't I just pop in, have a drink?
Give me a persuasion check.
I can do that. I'll say, perhaps you can join me.
Oh. Yeah. I could do with a drink,
24.
actually. It's about time. He leans back. Helen! Take the watch. Fellow here's coming to town. We're going to grab a drink. And sort of calls back. You what? Went to pick well, okay. And he will join you, and you can head on into the inn. Sebastian, now that you've seen this and you go back down, obviously Hennig is currently invisible, but are you going to say anything to him? Wait, have I got this right, Joe? You are with them, invisible in the cellar, right?
Well, that's what I thought.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah. I was only gonna give it a second if Torin wanted to talk to. I was just making sure Torin was close before.
Yeah.
Before trying to see the dude who I think that I've been told is likely to be in charge.
Yeah. Sebastian has seen him.
Yeah. I need to see him.
Yeah, so I'll point him out to Hennick.
Okay. So Hennick now pops his head up at the door, noting the guy and the magic type. They're actually next to each other at the bar. Yep.
And then there are civilians in here that are just not.
There are, in fact, there is one gentleman who appears to be coming towards the cellar. He looks like the innkeeper's boy, maybe. It's going to be
freely moving about.
Yeah. He looks like he's going to get another barrel, and most importantly, he's probably going to open the hatch, towards the entrance where you got had it tilted a little bit. So that if you wanted to take that opportunity to go to swap places, right? Because you can't. If you open the hatch door, it's going to be obvious. But if the door is open, that would be Hennick's moment to pop out.
Oh, I see.
McPherson, what were you saying?
No, ignore me.
Cool. Yeah.
Bruno's just excited.
So as you pop your head in the corner, McPherson, sort of in your least sneaky manner, you see Torin sort of walking into the inn for a drink with the. With one of the bandits, as we might call them. And indeed, the door opens up, Torin.
Yes.
And, you can see in. Hennick, as this lifts up, you think you've got maybe 30 seconds left of invisibility, if that.
Yeah, I know I'm going to be speaking out of nowhere, but it shouldn't necessarily matter. I would like to cast Suggestion on the main dude.
Okay, now I'm not saying we're going to have a fight. But can I have some initiative just so I have an idea of if things break out, who's going when and what? And also because I can't roll a wisdom save until we're in the combat.
No, that's fine. I expected you to. That's why I wasn't just saying it. I don't like to pretend I'm getting 100%. A spell without. Of course, I'm slow, but
no, I mean you will start off the round with you because that's you doing things. Okay, and it's a wisdom save.
If folks are coming in for a drink, I suggest you have the villagers sent over to another building.
He gets a 19. Are you gonna?
With silvery barbs.
Yeah, I thought you would.
That was a hope.
He gets a nat 1.
Let's go.
And exactly what did you say? I suggest.
I suggest if folks are coming in for a drink, you have the villagers sent over to another building by themselves.
I feel awful for this, but he's going to turn to the gentleman next to him and say, "We should get the villagers out of here so that we can, have a drink with this new fellow." And the gentleman looks back at him. He's going to make an insight check.
Sure. No, he's not really in charge. That's fine. I get it.
I mean, he looks like he's in charge.
That's fine. That was always the risk. We'll just start stabbing people.
It's not even that he's not in charge. It's that the guy recognizes that there is some sort of magic causing his fellow to look a little weird. He reaches over and he grabs the innkeeper's girl. This is the magic type now, right? Mm-hmm. And you see sort of a purple light extend from his hand and wrap around her neck. And he shouts out, "Who goes there?"
Is Torin in the inn right now?
You were literally just coming in the front door, yes.
So Torin would just be like, "Whoa, what's going on here? My friend, I thought you were good folk."
Don't move. He looks sort of around again. "Who goes there?" And then he looks at you. "You're not capable of this magic, are you? You weren't even in the room."
"Magics? Are you mad, man? I've just come for a drink."
"Who called out?" Because my correct suggestion is like very audible, right?
Oh yeah. I have to say it to him. I'm just not sure if I want to say anything else or not.
It wasn't your voice. It was someone else. And then he starts looking around and wait. All of you, stay still. McPherson, what are you doing?
Well, I certainly don't want Hennick or anyone else to be compromised right now.
Okay.
So, upon seeing this ruckus happening on the inside, I don't know if I should just
You
kill
gonna?
the guy.
Oh, what guy? There's no guy you can see.
Oh, I can. Is it not in here?
Yeah.
I have vision through the window.
Oh, you do? Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can see in, but you can't get in the window. Right? It's just a sort of hatch.
Could I just give me a general, like, how does he look like he's about to act? Maybe can I run inside and see if he's going to hurt anyone? Or
The
if
guy
he's
who's
just-
currently strangling the innkeeper's
No,
daughter,
that's the one.
he
that's
might
the one
he might
strangling.
hurt her.
But is it like an empty threat just to assert power, or is
Doesn't
he going
look
to
like it.
All right. Since he hasn't seen me, could I get advantage to hit
With what?
I think he's going to try to throw a dagger through
with a
the window.
dagger?
You can spend your action opening the window.
That works
Can
because I think
I
he can
just-
throw.
Break it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's technically like that's an attack roll. Like you're literally gonna have to smash in the window, right? That's not a sort of. I mean, I'll let you throw the dagger, but like, yeah, I think. Would you? Is this the moment to smash the window? Is what I'm getting, or would you like to move round to the rest of your companions and move up through the inn, so that when you've thrown the dagger, you're then in a position to defend?
All right. No, we need to get the villagers out. We need to get the villagers out. I'll just knock on the window and say,
He looks to the window and looks back to you guys. And then he reaches out with his hand and the door slams closed.
I'll break the window.
Oh,
I was saying it was me who was speaking. Oh, sorry. I'm inside now. You could probably hear me.
he looks at you like, who the hell are you? And sort of ignores you and looks back towards the rest of the building. And where's the one that spoke?
It was me.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Where's the one that
How
spoke?
do you know?
Because
So
you
can I
don't
do more?
sound
I guess
anything like
we
him.
rolled initiative. I'm not sure if I can do more stuff or what.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I was
okay.
like,
So the initiative,
We
like I
haven't
said, we're
started
not
the
I can't
in
cast a
initiative.
spell again if we're in a turn.
Yeah,
you know
we're
what I
not
mean?
in initiative at all. I just needed those so that I could make the saving throw. Yeah, no, act freely as you would in the moment. But it's fair to say that invisibility will run off fairly soon, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Henrik, run while I'm distracting him. So how do you know? How do you know it wasn't me?
Yeah, sorry, Henrik, what were you gonna do?
I'm going to say, you think bosses like us don't have other ways of communicating with you? Send the hostages to the other building.
Like that. I like that. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead and give me a deception check. But yeah, go ahead and give me a deception check and let's see whether we can.
23.
Nice. He sort of looks.
Torin
at-
will sort of play into it and be like, "Are you people hearing things?"
You have message. It's just not being used on you. Yeah, okay, so he sort of looks around and okay, get this lot out. I'm keeping this one. And he holds the one girl, but everybody else he gestures to go out, and then he turns to Alessio, and you don't belong here.
Shall I take my leave then? Off I go, back onto the road.
Well, I mean, yeah, you've only got your head poked in the window, I guess, so he just sort of looks at you and maybe you should move on.
You gonna let the lass go out as well?
What have you got to do with all of this?
Well,
then-
nothing really, good sir. It's just, it's not really the best situation to walk into. You know, you're proper strangling that girl. It's not very amicable, as some would say, really.
Something's wrong here, and he turns to his friend. Get the others.
What, sir? There's no. If you need a hostage, you can hold me. Let the girl go. I will be your hostage. She's a lady. She's got no. There's no need for her to be apprehended in such manners. Treat her with some courtesy, please.
Sebastian and Chiavo, you can hear all this going on. You're you're not actually outside, but you don't have vision. You're just below the hatch from the cellar. You can step in at any moment you wish, but the hatch door will open when you do so.
Yeah, I'm waiting at the minute. I'm not going in
I
just
just
yet.
asked why he was outside. He's not. That's what I was explaining.
I was just wondering because I wasn't before.
Because you were peeking out through the hatch, and then the guy came down, Hennick went out, and then he shut the hatch behind him, right? So that was your vision gone. Yeah?
Right.
Yeah, but I can't peek again without.
Yeah,
them
you can peek.
noticing.
You can have a little peek. Just sort of through the crack, you begin to see, sort of, both of you sort of poking your head up, just seeing this little line. And the gentleman who was with Torin has left.
Okay. He's left.
Well, he's about to leave if you wanted to do something first.
I wanted to walk a little like edge towards. Well, if he's gonna leave, then I'll let him leave. Then I won't do anything until he leaves.
He walks out the door and he doesn't go very far. He just shouts, Kalo, Yagan, get in here. There might be trouble.
I'm going to shut the door
With him out.
with him out.
Nice. Okay. And then what?
And
Like
lock-
stand
and
with your
lock.
back against it?
If there's a lock, I'll lock it. But if
Okay.
not,
As soon as you do this, the guy in there sort of takes it as a matter of aggression, and he steps up to you. Now, why would you be doing that?
Well, it seems this is quite a tense situation in here, and I also take offense to this man strangling that young girl. That's why.
I thought we were going to be friends.
Can I pop in and do one thing here right now?
Yep.
Hearing that, I want to see if this is going to work. Gonna just slam in through the hatch and try to wand of binding the guy who's been doing the strangling. See if I can hold him.
Okay.
Hold
bear
person.
with me a second.
Yeah, I was waiting until it was reasonable for me to cast another spell with the same thing, so I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah, I'm glad you're also acting, because the only way I can act is by killing him.
Yeah. You can't kill him from where you're standing.
I can throw shit.
Sure.
I am hoping that we can hold him with this.
James, I just want to check with you. Will I be able to enter through this window?
No, I did say that. It's barely
Oh.
big enough to throw a dagger. That's why I said to you, are you sure you don't want to go in through the cellar with the others so that you are able to actually protect them after you've thrown a dagger?
I mean, that's not a biggie. Since the situation is scaling, I will go around. Because I know this, yeah, I'll go around and I'll go in.
Yeah. Okay, cool. It's sort of, that's a 65-foot walk, but we'll go with it. We'll just sort of, what are you doing? Sorry, you're binding who? There's so many things going on. Jamal, let's go backwards. Jamal, you used a wand of binding on who?
The guy who was doing the strangling. So specifically, choose a creature you can see within range. Target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for
what
duration.
a whole person does. What I'm wondering is, does the wand grant you the spell or cast the spell?
That's an excellent question.
I think the one casts the spell. It has charges, no?
There's no concentration.
It does have a concentration
marker
duration
on
of
it?
up to a minute.
Okay, as soon as you cast that, Hennick's gonna come visible.
That's
Yeah,
unfortunate, but fine.
Okay,
It's
and
now
you're
the
doing it
time.
on the magic
Coming
user?
anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, cool, great. Let's do that.
I mean, shit's hit the fan, guys.
This guy's like,
Yeah.
how many
Yeah.
fucking wisdom saves do I have to make? That's an 18.
Oh, fuck.
That's he passes with that one.
Okay,
Damn.
cool. Hennick, what were
I
you
assume I
wanting?
don't have a reaction again.
No. What were you wanting, though?
The guy who was doing strangling.
Shut up. Other one, what are you wanting?
Oh.
You said you wanted to see if you could do the same, Joe?
Oh, well, whenever it's come around to where I can cast a spell again, I was just going to cast Hold Person with, not with a wand, just with my regular.
Right, okay. On the same guy? The guy who's trying to...
Yeah,
Okay.
just the Strangler.
Okay. So yeah, as you reach out and cast upon him, he is held. No, it says restrained, but that's fine. However, the gentleman in the red cloak sort of turns back and... Oh, my head was a bit flustered there. And as sort of the inn guys have, all the innkeepers have sort of left, right, from your suggestion.
Yeah.
The door rattles behind you, Torin, and at this point, we will enter actual combat.
Sure.
So, we begin with the long walk of... Yes, go on, sorry, Torin.
I just wanted to say I noticed that on the initiative tracker, my initiative showed up as 8, which was like the lower of my 2 rolls.
Oh,
Because
you
the
have
shield also
advantage.
gives
It will
me-
always...
yeah.
If you... Yeah, it often only puts the second one in. What was your higher roll?
19.
Cool.
I think it shows it in the thing. Yeah, 8 and 19.
Yeah, I've just changed it now. Alessio, we begin with you sort of running all the way around into the cellar. And you see Sebastian and Chiavo just poking their head out a little bit at this hatch.
Fuck, Calvo jumped out.
I thought
Yeah,
you just
I'm
pointed...
out.
Oh, you jumped out? I thought you just
No,
pointed a
he-
wand.
Yeah, I would have been blasting with the wand straight in. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
like
got
you
to.
full-on jumped
I
out.
got to
Okay.
cast. Yeah, I got to cast that shit. Yeah.
I mean, you can cast without being in the room, but sure.
Yeah, but I need to get
okay.
a good line of sight, and I didn't think I could do that from the hatch. But
Okay, cool. Alessio, you come in and you see a hatch door open. And a... Oh, sorry, I've moved the wrong person. There we go. And you're able to get up. You notice that the guy holding the sort of purple whip around the neck is frozen in place. The purple whip seems to still be there, so you can assume that's not concentration.
Okay. And he's holding the whip.
He is, but he's also paralyzed. So he's like holding the person, right? Holding the person. Wow.
Could I make a disarming attack to cause him to let go of it?
I love that. Yeah, go ahead. Obviously, you run up to him. Yeah. Other guy.
15.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one, right?
This one. Yeah.
20, 25, 30. Because I want to make
Okay.
sure, if Torin comes, I want to make sure there's advantage.
Yep.
And I will strike him with my rapier.
Yep. Go ahead.
That's
Roll ahead with
then-
advantage.
Oh, am I rolling with advantage? Oh yeah,
He's
because
paralyzed.
he's paralyzed.
Does a 20 hit?
That's a crit. Go ahead.
What? Yeah.
Paralysis also makes it a crit, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a crit.
great. And I'm going to roll an additional 2d8 for a disarming attack.
Yep.
At which point he needs to make a DC 15 strength saving throw.
You cannot make strength and dexterity saves while paralyzed.
So
Oh,
he
yeah.
just lets go of the whip.
Actually, is that true or is it just dex?
I'm not sure.
Strength and dex. Yeah, I thought so. Cool. Yeah. So he drops the whip.
So he's disarmed.
And how much damage did you do
I did 25 damage.
in total?
No, that's just for my first attack.
It was a crit. It was an auto crit,
Yes.
basically.
Is that in total for your first hit? That is 25 damage, correct?
Correct.
I can see a 17 and a 25 on my screen. Okay, so I don't know what's going on there.
It's a 25.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. He added the. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I added it so it'll be easier.
Okay, yeah, very confusing. Cool. He is looking wounded, bloodied, in pain, paralyzed. He's having a really bad day,
Does
to be
a
honest.
24 hit?
A 24 hits, and again will crit. And you are, I mean, you can do all the rolls, but I'm pretty sure you're incapable of not killing him. And that'll be the end of him.
I will do non-lethally as I was advised by the party to do so.
Were you?
Because he's got like some bracelets.
It's not going to help, but he may have taken it that way, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, cool. Okay. So he lies unconscious upon the ground. Oh, I need to do those things, don't I? I should have marked him as dead. We're going to mark him as a spiritual weapon. There you go. That's his corpse, okay? Does that conclude your turn, Alessio?
No, I want to use my bonus action to use a quick toss and throw the dagger
Okay.
at this assassin here.
Yep.
dagger which disappeared from my inventory. It was a venom dagger, right?
Dagger of venom. Yeah, got it.
Ah, here we go. So I shall throw it. Does a 9 hit it?
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's gonna be my turn.
Okay, cool. Torin, I need a strength saving throw, please.
You got it. Oof, a 7.
Okay, you are knocked hurtling across the room as the door explodes inwards. Standing behind it is a magic user with two gentlemen, well, a gentleman and a woman, flanking him. And they immediately take crossbow shots. The first will be at Torin. Torin, sorry, you got a what on your? A 7. You'll also be knocked prone.
Okay, so they have
Which is
disadvantage technically.
Ironically, in your advantage, yes. That's an 18 to hit.
That is my AC, so it'll hit.
Yeah, but they cannot sneak attack with a disadvantage. 9 piercing, make a con save, please. It's against poison, if that makes any difference.
It does not, unfortunately.
Cool.
It's 21.
Okay, you will take 11 poison damage with that. And he tucks himself around the corner and hides. The next one will shoot and then tuck himself around the corner and hide, but he will shoot at Chiavo. Chiavo, that is a... Oh, I don't know why that didn't work. Chiavo, that's a 20 to hit you.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Okay. That is 6 piercing damage.
Okay.
Plus 11 piercing damage. Plus a constitution saving throw, please, against poison.
God damn.
You get +4, Cabo.
You do.
That's an 11.
That's a fail, I'm afraid. You'll take 19 poison damage.
Jesus.
He'll then tuck himself behind the corner and he'll hide. Torin, you're up.
I am going to get up.
Figures.
And I guess I'm already within reach of
Oh, you're right in his face. Right in his face. Yeah.
Yeah,
In fact,
so
he's
I
probably
guess-
facing you, to be fair.
I will have to swing at him.
Yeah. Go ahead. Swing it a bitch.
21.
Yep.
So I will roll that, and I keep forgetting, but technically, I can roll damage twice because of Savage Attacker.
Yep.
And pick the higher. So I'm just gonna roll that damage again, and it's the exact same, so that's fine. And...
Josh finds this in his Saturday character that he rolls Savage Attack when it's almost always identical.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I'll pop a level 1 smite into that as well,
Okay.
which I think is a 2d8
Yep.
for an additional 13 radiant damage.
Yep.
And I'll take a second swing. Or actually, yeah, I'll take a second swing. Be the same to hit.
Yep.
Doesn't get much better than that.
Nice.
And another smite. So another
yeah, got it.
15 slashing. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Any bonus action for me?
I am going to no bonus action, but I'm going to move. Actually, you know what? I'm lying. I'm gonna inspiring smite that one
Okay,
to give us all some temp HP.
cool. How much is it?
So it's gonna be 9 plus 7 to be divided amongst everybody. So we'll give Chiavo got pretty badly hurt, so I'll give 10 to Chiavo.
Thank
and
you. I'll just give the 6 to myself, actually. I
Okay,
could use
cool.
it.
Great. Love that. Does that conclude your turn?
And I'm just gonna move just over here, still
Yep.
within his reach, but
Okay.
actually maybe
Sebastian?
in front of no.
Yep.
Yeah, in front of little Sebastian.
Yep, Sebastian, you're up.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna stay like in like the hatch bit just
Okay.
to keep myself like protected.
Hold me a second. Just gonna do that, just to show that you're hiding, right? Just so I remember.
And then this guy needs to make an int save. I'm gonna Tasha's mind with him.
Okay. That's a 21, I'm afraid.
He'll take 7 psychic damage
He's
already.
severely wounded.
And yeah, I'll just stay where I am.
Oh, Chiavo, you're up.
I'm gonna look to Torin. I hope you got this one. I'm gonna haste him,
Okay.
and
I feel the power.
please do feel the power. That's wonderful. I'm going to go hide around a corner if I can. Gonna go back down the hatch just for the time being.
Yeah, oh, that's a weird one. Chiavo, that's not very easy to do. Sebastian's like in the hatch, holding onto it. He's standing on the ladder, right? He's like just got his head tipped out. If you like open the hatch, you're then gonna have to like climb over Sebastian and like. Do you want to duck down behind the bar? Partial cover. Plus four
Yeah,
armor
okay, then
class?
fine. That
Great.
works.
Okay. You're ducked down behind a bar. Partial. In all fairness, it's exactly what I've given Sebastian. Partial cover plus 4 armor class. So it's
That's
making
fair.
no difference. It just, yeah, it seems weird that you're all just up and down the hatch. Okay. Alessio, you've been warned about these bracelets. You see the bracelet at the guy at your feet begin to pulse. You think you might be able to fit him out the window if you shove him head first. But it'll be at the expense of your next turn. Do you want to get him out the door? Out the room?
Can I cut his hand off?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Is it Alessio's turn?
It isn't, but I'm letting him use a... You have a reaction, right, Bruno? At the moment?
I do have a reaction.
Yeah,
still.
cool. I'm letting you use a reaction just as you see this. You've got a moment to act. You can try and cut his hand off. What are you going to do? Just cut his hand off?
Cut his hand off, throw the hand as far as I can away from this village.
Okay. At the
I
instant...
can throw pretty far.
At the instant that your sword connects with the arm, I need everybody in the room to make a dex save.
Including the poor villain who's
Advantage
dead. I
for
wanted
those
us
of
to-
you. Sorry, what did you say, Joe?
Everything went. No, nothing I should be allowed to say right now. I'm just frustrated because none of this went what I thought it should. Whatever.
I was hoping we'd get warning before this happens so I could hide.
You are hidden, which is why you're making your save with advantage. I did say
Everyone,
that.
everyone around me except for McPherson gets a +4 to their save.
Okay.
I just rolled 2 nat 20.
You
Can I
knew the
give
bracelet
one to
would
someone
explode
else?
if you killed someone, yes. No, you can't. But with
I
that,
thought we knocked the guy out rather than killed him, but
you did.
I guess.
It doesn't matter. It's
Doesn't
we
matter
know,
what
we
the dice
learned
do.
this. It's when their HP is reduced to a certain point.
Alright, yeah.
I just
Yeah.
thought we should all run out the damn thing and let them blow up on each other in here. Why should we fight at the front door? They're at the fucking front door.
Wait, so cutting his arm off would kill him?
No, but he's
Doesn't
all.
matter.
It's not to. It's not to. Yeah. I can explain it more metagamey if you like. But basically, when they're reduced below a certain HP, the bracelet begins to pulse, right, and it's going to go off in a couple of rounds. This is the first time that you have attempted to sever the arm. As soon as the bracelet is going to be separated from the body, it explodes immediately.
Yeah, that we didn't know.
No,
just
you
so know.
never
Yeah,
knew
no,
that
no,
before.
that
We didn't
was
know that.
reasonable for
We
you to
didn't know
try.
that. I wanted to try
And
that last session.
Rico tried it last session as well, and it didn't quite get to that point. But what you do know is that once you dropped him below a certain HP, and obviously he was paralyzed, so I think the thinking was get the people out and not kill them. But whatever, you killed them. So, dex save, nat 20. Sebastian, what I will allow you to do, I think it's a reaction anyway, but if you wish to use your Abjura's Ward to block for the girl.
For the young girl,
For the young girl, you may.
That would be good.
It'll be up
I
because you
thought-
cast
I
Mage
thought it
Armor
was
this morning,
I
right?
thought it was just when someone gets hit, but no, it's when someone takes damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll flicker my wrist. Like this like silvery like aura will like go over her body, so she'll have 18.
I mean, I'm gonna say it just blocks the blow.
Okay.
And it explodes.
That's fair for me too.
And it explodes, so you've got nothing left on it, but it's gone. Kiavo, your dex save with advantage was?
11, 15 with Torrens.
With advantage, was a 15 with Torrens buff, yeah?
Yeah.
Great, okay, Sebastian, you got a nat 20. Henrik, you got an 11, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So 15 as well, then? Or 11
No,
with-
he got an 11 with you.
Oh,
Yes.
And Torin, you got?
that's 15 only. Awful.
Okay.
With advantage, too.
A 15 is a success. Anybody who got above a 13, it's a success. 13 or above, sorry, is a success. Alessio, sorry, I didn't ask you for yours.
10.
Okay, so Alessio and Torin and Henrik. Sorry, Alessio and Torin will take 25. Henrik and Chiavo and Sebastian will take 12.
Wrong. I take the full Alessio.
16.
Yeah,
It's
Or
acid
full
damage, yes.
also, whatever it is.
What, I thought you got a...
I failed.
Oh, you got an
whatever-
11, did you? Yeah,
Joe
sorry,
failed.
25
I
acid
think
damage.
Joe's the only one that failed, I think.
I failed
Right?
as well.
Right, yeah,
Alessio
Alessio.
failed.
Oh, and Alessio failed. So I'll
Because
take
what's the distance on your buff? It's 10 foot, right?
10 feet only, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So what was half? 12?
12 unless you're Chiavo, who will take 6.
Oh, wow. Nice guy.
Because he's got acid resistance. Henrik, you're up. You see a guy in front of you who's majorly wounded. And in the doorway, you see 3 people. And the so the sorcerer is just sort of ducked away. And the acid sort of zoomed out the room. And he looks in. And he says to you, "You protected her this time. Next time, she's dead. I want to save these villagers. Put your hands up and walk away." And as he sort of gestures behind him, you can imply that maybe he's got another hostage. Maybe he's not. If you wish to sort of try and work that out, you can, but yeah, up to you.
You might as well insight him.
Well, no. Passive insight is what's giving him the fact that perhaps there may be a another
hostage.
creature. Perception is what he needs.
Yeah.
But not from where he's standing, obviously. That's why I said you may not wish to, because you'd have to move to a place where you can see it. But yeah, if you wish to free action respond before taking your turn, you may.
I mean, what am I gonna? He's just gonna lie. I don't. It doesn't really matter. Fuck. I have no idea what to do. I'm sorry. I'm terrible at taking my turn sometimes because everything has just changed completely. I was just planning on trying to rush this girl out, but if
Yeah. I wanted to grab the
there
girl.
are others,
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously the girl, maybe you can get her down the hatch, but you know the others went out, right?
yeah,
Yeah, where to?
and it just didn't. We didn't have long enough for them to get all the way away.
I can't protect her again.
Get her in the cellar, maybe?
Hennik's gonna put his hands up. Sorry.
No, I love it.
Let them go. You want us.
Yeah, we do. And
No one else has to go along with this, by the way.
as...
Sorry. Seeing this happen, am I able to go down the hatch without them realizing I was ever here?
No.
Ah.
They saw your magic react. However, he looks to you and thought we'd finally find somebody who could speak sense. There's no need for all these innocents to die. Believe it or not, I don't particularly enjoy all this pointless life waste either. This is the sorcerer at the doorway speaking, by the way. And he reaches out with his hand, and you see sort of the gentleman here just gain a little bit of HP. Looks like he's a little better off. And he sort of moves to the side and let the girl out. And as she comes out, he will then come in and gesture for his men to come in. I promise you, there's no more of us outside.
Can I walk to the window and verify?
100%, yeah. You look and you see villagers crouching around the well looking frightened. There doesn't seem to be anybody else in sight. He sits down. Bar in here. Anyone know how to pour an ale?
Well, now they're gone.
Too soon, James.
Oh, too soon indeed. Fuck.
Well, I'm guessing that was us. Okay, yeah, it was meant at that. Good. I'm glad one of you got it. Anyway, yeah. For those of you who don't know, Bruno's character that died last session was an innkeeper's daughter. That's what that was about. Anyway, he looks to you all and look, we're in a situation here now. I'm sure you probably would like us removed, dead, and not doing our job anymore. But as you might have guessed, we don't always have a choice what we do. There's the bracelet at you. I made some bad life choices that wound me up in this situation.
Now you're stuck with those bracelets, huh?
We are, and if he's watching, we could blow at any moment. I've seen it. My companions, they come in and they've done something wrong and he's seen it. All of a sudden, it's horrible.
You spoke of he, stranger.
The masked mage. I don't know his name. I just know his voice. He speaks into my thoughts and he watches.
Well, we wanted those folks to safety. No question about that. If the worst thing that happens here is you all blow up. But, you know, if you see some way around that.
No. Eventually I'll be compelled to come after you. But I wanted to take this moment to say, if you can find a way to stop this, just tell us. In future, wherever it is.
Kevin and Sebastian are gone or still here?
They're
Still
down the
here,
cellar,
just
I
tucked.
think.
Yeah, I did back up the counter to saying to ask him about a bracelet. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
but he sort of looks at you
behind
and
the counter.
I guess we battled to the death in some honorable fashion or something, but just remember some of us are victims too.
Well, so far he hasn't. Whoever he hasn't stopped you from having the conversation.
I'm guessing that
Can you
he's
tell us anything useful?
human like the rest of us, and his eyes can only be in one place at once, though. I don't know.
Well, while they're not here,
There are 4 more out, and as soon as he goes to tell you about the plans, the guy at his side, or behind, at his side here, turns to him and is like, "Shut up! You're gonna get us all killed!" I don't want to go like Sarah did. At least if we fight and we win, we have a chance to survive. You've had your bargain, that was the deal. You asked them for their help. Now what? Just let them go with the information that they don't have. At least then we can't be blamed. We can say that they ran. He looks to you. Will that suffice? Will you run?
I don't think we can leave you in charge of this village.
An honorable fight to the death then, I guess.
Well, no one's saying it has to be right this minute.
Do we have any inkling that they're actually doing anything back to these villagers?
What do you mean?
I mean, they had them hostage. They were sort of like
Yeah, but if they're
pretty
not actually
shaken up outside.
Yeah, but if they're not actually treating them badly, we can just leave them.
Before you guys arrived, you did witness them just sitting in the bar talking to them. One of the
Yeah.
villagers seemed to be in cahoots with them, but apart from that... But obviously the implication is that as soon as they were threatened, the first thing they did was threaten the villagers.
Sure, but as long as everyone else keeps away from this place, like Sebastian, like isn't going to say this stuff, but I can't let us fight this and not say anything. Like if they're just letting the villagers be and are just having this area to have control of this area, we should just leave. We shouldn't have to fight them because they're not doing anything bad. But Sebastian doesn't care, so I'll leave it with you guys.
I mean, the guy that we spoke to did imply that they were doing great things to the guy's wife. So
They were being
Yeah.
a bit handsy, was the phrase. But you killed
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
I
guy,
mean,
so...
like, not all of these guys are as level-headed as the
Yeah.
one that you just
But you
spoke to us.
did
right?
kill that guy. And he exploded.
Yeah, I mean,
We did
Finally.
kill that. We did kill that one guy though.
How's the rest of your day go if we walk away?
Well, we were instructed to stay here and keep the villagers hostage until you arrived and threaten you with them. I don't know what my next instruction is. I haven't had it yet. Oh, likely if you've escaped, we'll be punished.
Well, who
Or
says
we'll
that we
be
were
sent
even here?
after you.
I'm
has
concerned
words.
about who's nearby when you're punished.
Aye, me too. Had a wife once.
Can you hole up in another part of the village? Leave the folk away from you?
That building's abandoned. We were using it. I was staying there for that reason. One of our fellows, and he gestures towards the mess of open blood on the floor, liked to get a bit nasty with his power. But you dealt with him. The rest of us, we were holed up in that building over there anyway. No villagers there. Maybe that's my destiny. A quiet, ambiguous end that nobody remembers.
We got no way to deal with these bracelets, anyone?
unfortunately, I don't know of any way to. I could try and insult Theseus, but I'm not sure if.
What's
he'll be-
that? You want me again? What is it this time, idiot?
These guys got bracelets on them that are remotely triggered to detonate by a fairly significant mage.
Oh, and there was
No,
me
anything
thinking
with
you'd
these.
moved into the jewelry business. Have you thought about dispelling the magic?
We've tried. I have tried. It seems to be quite strong. I could try to dispel it again, but I can't guarantee it's going to work.
Your competence is likely to be called into question. That can't be good for anybody.
Well, I could
I
try
mean,
it now with you as witness and see what you have that comes to mind.
I will give you this for free. You can try and cast Dispel Magic. It's a check. It's always a check. That's how Dispel
Right,
Magic works,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Okay, then
Well,
I'll
a chance might be enough for these gentlemen.
give it
Or
a shot
not all
as
men, I
best
guess.
as I can. This one guy, I'll try to dispel him.
He looks at you and...
Yeah.
Can we perhaps do this in a situation where we don't put everyone at risk?
Just me and you, then. Okay. So head
Maybe
over to
we'll
that
use the
building,
cellar?
then. The cellar will work, yeah.
And he'll step into the cellar with you and close the door behind him. As soon as he does this, Henrik, give me an insight check. A perception check, sorry. Yes, Josh, go on.
Sure, sure.
As Kiavo and this guy go down there, I'm just gonna I'm gonna whisper to myself, but probably loud enough so that others can hear. I'm just gonna say, if he dies, I'm getting his book.
Yes, Henrik, that's not going to do anything for you. Cool, Kiavo, as you step down, go ahead and cast your Dispel Magic. and-
So if I can back out the cellar, so I've got distance from this guy, like 35 foot, would that still be, can I manage that? Can I get him to, stand at the back and,
Yeah, he'll stand there at the back. You will be making this check with disadvantage. Your dispel check, you will be making at disadvantage.
Because of distance, or it's
No,
100?
because it's really difficult to break through. There's more
Fair.
than one enchantment on here, and you're trying to dispel
Yeah.
two things simultaneously, so it's a
Right.
disadvantage. It's not
Okay.
actually a disadvantage, it's two checks, but
Yeah.
either one is a fail, right? So it's basically just mechanically
Yeah.
disadvantage.
So
So go
this
ahead.
is just
It's an
this is
in
just
check.
going to be in.
It's an in check with disadvantage, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
2 twos. That's 6.
You,
Wow.
you struggle and focus. Your magic can't break through.
That's
Theseus
what
sort
I
of speaks
expect.
up and, well, that's unsurprising. Like I said, it was your competence being called into question. I hate to say this, but have you tried taking the bracelet off?
They blow up when they do so. Someone has a sick, twisted sense of humor, don't they, Theseus?
What a guy! I'd like to meet him.
I had a
They
feeling
blow
you'd say
up
that.
when you take them off. And they're on your enemies, you say. So why is this a problem?
Well, that's a good point. But see,
So
I hope,
you could
the
use.
hope is that the hope is that we can avoid making enemies and rather just let people make a choice to make up for their mistakes prior.
Well, that's all good and honourable and all, but are you telling me that you could kill these guys with Mage Hand? That's pretty cool. Just saying.
Sorry.
Well, if you take their bracelet off from a distance, it'll be like the endless fireball.
Well, isn't that an interesting thought?
Oh well, the
Well,
guy who's
now
wearing
I
the
sudden-
bracelet is most truly and definitely screwed. No. There is something I'd heard of. Now, you're far too incapable a wizard to cast an anti-magic field, but there are some that are permanently in place. We took him there. There's one in Veralia, another mountain. I think there's also one in... The gnomes have it. Anybody remember the name of Gazellen, is it?
I'm pretty sure Theseus at this point would be giving a very old name, yes.
No, well, he would give the name Gazellia instead of Gazellen. I was just confirming that that was the gnome land. It is.
Right.
It is my world.
It
You think
it
I'd
is,
know by now?
it is.
Yeah.
Oh
Gazellia.
shit! I lost us. There we go.
Gazellia. Gazellen.
Gazellen, yeah, there's one up in the gnome area, but I'm sure there are more nowadays. Or different ones, I guess. You could ask around, or maybe tell your ticking time bomb.
Very well. That's the best we can hope for.
There is
Thank you.
something you can do,
Yes.
idiot. There may be a way to trace the magic and find out the original caster.
That would be good to do.
Just a small catch.
There always is, isn't there?
If you can see and hear them, they can probably see and hear you.
More than likely.
Assuming he's probably put in a failsafe allowing him to detonate it on command, maybe that's not a good idea.
That we do know they have done.
Tell your friend in the bracelet that he's dead for sure, and maybe you can find a solution down the line.
Alright, thank you. That's the best I can do.
Someone's got to educate you.
In
At this
time.
point, the guy wearing the bracelet has watched you struggle to cast a spell and then have an entire conversation with yourself. So he sort of looks at you and... Did it work?
I'm sorry, it didn't work. I consulted with what I can only call my mentor, and
Well, can't he do it?
No, he is very much not present physically and able to cast.
Gavo, it's time you admitted that your only friend is a book. Well, he looks at you and... Can't you try again?
If it hasn't worked once, it's not going to work again. Unfortunately, I can't. Magic is too strong for me.
Is that mechanically how the spell magic works?
Well, no, but I could cast it again, but then that's like my last spell slot, and then I guess I could try it one more time for the guy.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, he's suggesting if you have a spell slot, could you try it again? Like, maybe? I don't know. I'm gonna go.
Okay, fuck it. I will try to save this guy one last
Do
time.
it!
Intelligence save, disadvantage.
There's only like 5.
Save or check?
Intelligence check, disadvantage. Yes, sorry, I did say save, didn't
Yeah, no. Once again, it fails.
I? You just hear this small voice come from the book.
3 and a 5.
Incompetent.
God damn.
And he looks at you and... Well, thank you for trying.
I'm sorry, I did everything I could.
At this moment...
There may be hope for others with the bracelets in time, but... I can't.
At this moment, the guy up here, the back of the room, attempts to flee.
At the back of the room, James?
Yeah, so,
In our room.
Yeah, here.
Oh.
I don't mean to be the one to say it, but if what they said is true and they're being watched, there's a big chance their man might just blow up on the middle of the field.
Perhaps we shouldn't allow him to get any further.
Where you headed, friend?
All right.
I ain't sticking around for you to mess with these bracelets and blow me up.
I think the experimentation's over and it hasn't worked. I haven't heard anything from downstairs. Why don't you all just go over to the abandoned house, set yourselves up for as long as you can make it.
All right, I'm out. And he runs. The girl sort of looks at you all and... I still think we should have killed you. And then she'll walk out. Mr. Redcloak, who is definitely not in charge. He's just got a really fancy cloak. It is a really fancy cloak, to be fair. Looks around and... Oh, well. He takes a brief look at Torin and... What the hell did you hit me with?
The might of Bahamut, friend.
Bahamut? I need me a Bahamut. He wanders off. The sorcerer looks at you and... Look, I appreciate you did what you did. You did what you could. Any other situation, I'd be fighting alongside you. I'm in no position to ask favors, but in Safeton, I left my wife. Her name's Fiona. She'll stand out in Halfling Town. Long black hair, bright blue eyes. She'll be in a tavern somewhere, making her way on her money.
I really thought you was going to say she was going to stand out in a halfling town because she's an ogre.
He looks at you and look, if you see her, just tell her I love her.
What was your name,
We can
friend?
do that.
My name's Lionel. Puts his hand out. Good luck.
I'll shake his hand. Why not?
I'll flinch.
Yeah,
He
I
sort
know.
of
I
clap
was
hands with you
selected-
like soldier style and he leaves and goes to the area and firmly shuts the door behind him. And as soon as that happens, the young man you first met on the road, the messenger sort of comes in and... So, what's for us now? Should we go, like, hide in the woods or something? A few days?
Well, I think it has to at least be suggested that with all of those folk in the house over there, we might consider barring the door and ending this before we leave town.
I like how you're thinking, Henrik.
That's quite grim, Henrik.
But it
Well,
is also truth.
I
Henrik, if you allow me. Leaving these assassins here will only mean that more can come, perhaps even more brutal than the ones before. Hennick has a point, and I'll lean against the frame of the bar.
I mean, this, nothing for them has really changed. They were given orders at threat, and they complied with those orders, which included hurting people. As, some of them not maybe so excited about it, but everyone we've met up and down this road has been in a similar situation, maybe some more unpleasant than others and more interested in doing harm. Yeah, okay, maybe the worst one here has been dealt with, but I don't know. I don't feel great about leaving town. I mean, if we have all the time in the world and we wanted to sit here and watch them until someone else deals with their boss, I'm not saying I'm necessarily for it, but I just,
Well,
I don't
why
know.
why shouldn't we be the one to deal with their boss? We have his name, this masked mage.
Well, who are they next to when he gets upset between now and then?
Not to mention, if one of those bracelets explodes while they're dealing with a peasant.
If there's a fungus in the crop, you don't pile it all in the same bale. You don't blame the fungus. You don't want to hurt nobody. I don't know. If y'all aren't comfortable, it's fine. We can move on. But let's hurry like hell. And hope these people who, by their own admission, got themselves into this one way or another, have done nothing more harmful and have deliberately kept themselves away from anybody that shouldn't be harmed between now and the time that we find, and hopefully, if we're so amazing and we can handle it, take care of their boss. I'm just worried there's going to be deaths on our hands one way or the other. And I'm not sure I like the idea of it being the wronger people.
I mean,
We would have fought them all. If they hadn't had
true.
another hostage outside the door, they would all be dead right now.
That's true, Henrik.
All we wanted was a way to get those hostages away so we could take care of them. The hostages are not near them now.
Well, why couldn't
Then
they?
why should we kill them?
Yeah, why couldn't they just escape into the woods and?
He looks up and... We can, but... We'd rather not. Our homes. Are you telling me that if
Would we put a building full of these bomb people in
He
San
gestures towards the building on the right and he looks at you. You telling me if we fired that building, our problems would be gone?
No. Sebastian's going to speak up on this.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry, I must have misunderstood.
He's going to turn to Hennick, and like he's just going to be like, "Why are you suggesting this? They said they'll all stay in one house, so they're not near the villagers, so that no one unnecessarily dies. And then, if by some miracle we manage to take care of the boss and possibly stop these bracelets, they can live and go about their life."
Why didn't they do that yesterday?
Because they had a cruel boss that wanted to hurt people.
That
I
they
think he
still
means
have.
why didn't they do that yesterday? Can you confirm what that was for me?
Yeah, just ignore their orders and sit in the house where they'd be safe from hurting anybody.
Well,
They had
if
that
I
option.
may, because they can't, and don't get me wrong, I'm all in favor for dispatching assassins, but these people really don't have a choice. And if they choose to stay inside that house, eventually, if they refuse for too long, those bracelets will explode again, or so they said. If they don't explode, their mysterious masked master might wait for them to need to restock and just explode them then to send a message. It seems that there is no way that we can win without blood being shed today.
I won't push it any further, Sebastian. I know I've gotten on your case about some very mild, morally questionable activities in the past, and if you're going to stand up for this situation, I'm not going to put myself above the wisdom of the group. That's fine with me. I do wonder if they were so inclined to do the right thing, the rightest thing they could do, why they didn't do it before we showed up. But maybe we've changed their minds.
Sebastian will like give you kind of like a sad look, and he'll just say, "Well, maybe we have." And then he'll turn to the party. If you all think that's the best way to go about this, then you can do it. But I'm not going to be a part of something so cruel. And Sebastian will leave the house and start casting his Phantom Steed for when we want to leave.
Well, I think Sebastian's preparing to leave, but I think perhaps the minimum I might ask for is if we stay nearby for a little while and see if, at least for a period of time, these folks stay where they are. Maybe if they don't know we're here. I mean, I don't know how well we could be hidden, but seems worth a few hours to me.
I'll pull you aside, Hennig, just briefly, so that the other man isn't here. I don't think that if we leave here today, this village will remain without bloodshed. That little pyromaniac over there, I've seen his sorts. He'll do anything it takes to survive, including burning down that house.
Whose swords? Pyromaniac? What?
I'm just speculating that the guy that asked, "Oh, are they all in that house? Can we just burn it down?"
Well, the guy, yeah, so the villager was saying, if we burn that building, do we then get to have our own lives? But as soon as you guys said no, he went, "Oh, sorry, I must have misunderstood." Yeah, that was, he's not very
Right,
good.
yeah.
Oh, I thought there was like another string of tension that, like, even if we didn't, the villager would.
Nah.
You don't think so? You wouldn't
He's a
get that
simpleton.
impression when you're in the
Void that,
sense.
Hennig, carry on.
No, it's
Void that. But yeah, I mean, Henrik, your idea is to camp, what, a few hundred feet away?
yeah. See if we can sort of
I would agree to that.
hide and observe for some hours.
Or rather, Torin would agree to that.
Yeah. That sounds fine.
You guys, head over to camp. Oh, rough. Hi. I love it when that happens. Yeah. Well, I mean, technically she is there. She's just in a casket.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you guys are sort of relaxing around the campfire, you hear a voice sort of shouting out, "Hello? Hello? Hello?"
Hello?
As you look around, you see it's coming from the front of Natasha's old shield.
Oh. The gem. I'll dash over and start looking at this gem.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello. Chiavo? Is that you?
Yes, that's me. Hello.
Ah, it's
Hi.
Fallon.
Fallon.
Wait, this thing's working, right?
Yes, it's working. I can hear you.
We got a message from Mage outposted at Relbon. Apparently they've all been poisoned.
Yeah, we just heard from someone we encountered today. We
Strange
may have been a few
coincidence.
hours ahead of you.
Oh, the mercenary guy?
Mercenary guy. You know this person?
Ah, yeah. It's, we sent him out to try and.
Is that Fallon I hear?
Oh, you're there. All right. Well, don't fuck it up, yeah?
You
can't
know
find
this
them.
lot.
Aye, but I do. I can't say I like this thing. I've currently got my eye in a metal box, Chiavo, if you use the gem to look back at what the gem sees,
Yes, I will.
you'll see a black box with one eye just sort of moving around inside it. And this is the solution we've come up with. I just wanted to tell you that, well, first of all, that the outpost might be poisoned. Those soldiers you were going to requisition. You
Yep,
can't find
that's
them. You're
what
going
we
to have to
heard.
go on to Safeton and speak to the grandfather. Let him know, but, there's something else. The Duke didn't
Oh.
come back.
Who didn't come back? The Duke?
He hasn't come back.
And he was due.
He should be back by now. I don't know what's happened. If the grandfather can come.
Sorry, Bruno. Oh, that was terrible. Sorry, okay, I'm back. I'm with it.
Yeah, he sort of... Yeah, the Duke hasn't come back yet. He's due back, but he hasn't come back. Yeah. I don't know what's happening. How are you guys doing anyway? Are you nearly there?
We're still on our way. We suffered a casualty. We'll make it as soon as we can.
Casualty?
Yeah, we lost one.
Who?
Natasha. Of our own.
My condolences. That
We'll keep
must
soldiering on.
be awful for you all.
Yeah, it's horrendous, but we'll keep soldering on. We'll continue.
Would you like news sent to her parents? Or will you do so yourself?
I think it would be best if news was sent to them, and we'll go to them after when we can.
A sensitive letter, died in service to her country. That sort of thing. Alright. Well, I'll see what I can do. Keep this stone with you. I, might have to use it again.
We will.
And there's a sort of noise, and then you briefly see like a shard of light, and then it's covered.
I'll grab the shield and I'll say, I don't mean to disrespect your fallen comrade, but if you allow me, I will carry this bastion in her honor.
Chiavo, are you gonna leave the stone with your new companion, or are you gonna keep it with you guys?
I'll pop off the stone and keep it with me. But
Okay.
the shield, yeah.
It's about 15-20 minutes, maybe half an hour later. You hear a blood-curdling scream. And the sound of 4 explosions.
I for one will head back in to make sure they were by themselves.
I'll follow along as well.
You see, standing outside the window to the building, a couple of alive peasants, sort of looking in, like wondering what happened. Turn to you and... Hey, just... Come.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that's maybe not the best we could have hoped for, but I guess their boss didn't like them playing somewhat nice. We can't promise your village will be entirely safe.
No, no one could do that. Might be a bear.
No, I suppose not. It's a very good point.
But you did what you could for us. Thanks.
Well, and we'll try to clean up the rest of this group that's doing this to people so that they won't have any reason to come back and use your town again.
That's a job for an army, isn't it? Not 5 wanderers on the road.
Sadly, the army has its own problems.
They always do. Always the small folks have to do the proper work. Well, best of luck to you.
Well
I'd
said.
say I envy you.
Sebastian's gonna head back to the campsite, and he's gonna climb on top of the cart where Natasha's body is.
Yeah.
And he's gonna sit next to her, and he's gonna like say out loud to her, "Hey, Natasha, I tried to stop the party from killing some assassins today. I think you would have been proud, but it didn't last too long." And then, like, he'll stop, and then he'll say, "I hope Lathander will keep you warm."
That note, as the rest of you make camp and sleep. Night passes without any trouble. So, Kiava, you can't shake the feeling you're being watched. And that's where we'll end.
Oh,
Oh, that's so sad because I wanted Alessio to like go to Sebastian and say, "Oh, I misjudged you."
Nope, I think that is exactly where we should end.
Redemption arc
Beautiful
coming.
for Josh. Okay. MVPs. Reverse order. Bruno.
It was quite nice seeing all the subtle and also not subtle references to Natasha. It feels like her character isn't like fully gone, which I appreciate. I know it literally just happened, but that was definitely one of my MVPs, what you just did, Josh. I thought that was very beautiful. Letting her death inform your character. And it made me a little bit emotional. But I love how Alessio's kind of harsh personality is... I don't know if this is just me, but kind of like slowly merging in with the party, but like not entirely. You
Yeah, you
tell
did
it's
become
still-
less vile over the course of the session.
Yeah, I'm glad that came across because like that was the point. He's not the toughest nut to crack when you first meet him, but hopefully you can see like where he can be nice and where he can be respectful. So I just want to MVP all of you guys because I feel like I've had moments with each and every one of you in this session, which I don't think I've done with Natasha. She just
Oh,
kind
no,
of
she doesn't talk, so...
Yeah, she just
Oh,
kind
she
of
really doesn't
waited for
talk
people
now.
to talk to her. So it's quite. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah.
Jamal.
I'm honestly gonna have to give a big one here to Jodi because we threw curveballs like hell with the plan going absolutely to crap and not going how you intended, and I don't know, somehow you just rolled with it and made it work.
Yeah?
It all just
We
like,
worked hard together,
out at the
didn't we,
time.
Joe? To find
Oh,
some
yeah.
sort of solution that wasn't just a fight.
Staring blankly and then surrendering. It was totally planned out.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you know, I mean, my intention in this, if I hope it was clear, was not for you guys to just fight, right? It was
Yeah.
anything but. I really wanted to show that there's more than one thing going on here, so...
Sure.
Go, Brennan.
Can I add a DM MVP?
If
For the
nobody
last
else
few
says anything.
sessions.
Oh, go on then. Actually, go on.
For the last few sessions, you've been doing something which is like you give us a really hard choice. I don't know if it's just my like academic brain, but like a lot of these are like philosophical issues, and I'm really enjoying like actually sitting here and having to think like what are the possible repercussions, like what is the best choice. I'm really loving like what you're doing in terms
I'd
of
like
choices.
to hope that Beldania's always had those choices and consequences,
And-
but I guess they've been far less
ramped up.
far-reaching in the past because you didn't matter.
Yeah.
And now you've got a
exactly.
bigger
It started
impact
very,
on the
It was
world,
very
so-
small, and
Yeah,
now
like,
it's
do you
grown
remember the
into something
bandit that you freed, right? You know, I've tried to... Beldania's meant to be about a world that moves with and without you. So hopefully
it's
that is...
getting harder, which I enjoy.
Oh, good. Josh.
Oh, I wasn't quite done. There
Oh,
was one
sorry.
other
You never
Yeah.
are. Go on.
Yeah. The last one that I've got, well, there's others, but the last major one is Theseus, and just this book is just.
I'll never get tired of that
it's-
book.
It's the best thing for the fucking character. Let's not lie.
Good.
It's
I'm glad you like it. Josh.
So I have two. One is McPherson. Like, I hope he doesn't soften too much because I think it's really interesting dynamic to have his perspective in the group. And then the other one is Henrik being the one to suggest we group them all in a house and kill them. Like, it was just so incredible, and in some ways made like it was like, really, that's coming from Henrik, and then in other ways it was like, yeah, of course Henrik's the one to suggest that. And it was, yeah, just incredible. But also, and then a little one is the fact that they died anyways. It was so sad. So sad. And then, like, when I was saying that stuff to Natasha, I could feel myself getting really upset. I was like, oh no, 100%. I can't cry on stream.
Rico.
Wow, so many good moments in this episode. I can't choose one, so I'm just gonna list all of them that I have down.
Please do. Like everything.
Obviously,
Joe with nothing.
obviously, Joe's beginning poem tribute to Natasha was very, very nice, very choice.
Can I just take a moment to add to that? That Joe, what was so beautiful about this one is the way you sort of introduced it. You don't normally sort of give it a preamble. Yeah. That really enhanced that one for me. Sorry, Rico, carry on.
Could you send it to me, Joe?
Of course, yeah.
What else do I have? Always loved when Theseus comes around and just belittles Bravo. That's one of my favorite things to watch, and it doesn't happen often, right? So it's nice. It's nice when it does happen. The sort of the fact that we were all so very reserved with McPherson at first, and then he just like transformed like so quickly into just like such a bro. Well, not quickly, it was obviously over the course of some time, but he's just like such a bro, man. Like what a mensch. And then obviously the final scene, Sebastian's conversation with Natasha was also very nice.
John.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I mean, all the important, poignant ones that people have already mentioned certainly deserve mention again. Sebastian and Natasha at the end there, and so forth. So I'll give, since I have to go last, I'll give silly ones for the most part.
Yes.
Windows. I really enjoyed the importance of, the very end, it was like, let's just look through this window and see that they've all blown up in there. But before that, it was like, no, that's a window, Bruno. You can't, it's not just...
Yeah, like, I mean, to be fair, I did make a mistake.
You've been talking about your big swords, and you're just like standing 15 feet away through a window.
I knew what Bruno was thinking. I knew exactly what he wanted to do, but I was like, I don't think it's that kind of window, unfortunately.
Yeah, first of all, there was the dagger, and I was like, through the glass? And then he was like, can I climb through it? And I was like, what? So in my head, this window's like this size, right?
Yeah.
Just this little portal.
Like,
and I knew Bruno was stitching this big thing, and I was just like, now I see why we've completely changed. So yeah, I
you never really know in fantasy worlds what the window's going to be like. But I totally saw it not as James going like, I'm going to slowly invent this window to be the biggest obstacle possible, but just going like, that's the window I had in my head.
Yeah.
And it ain't going to fucking work.
Exactly. I was just like...
And then the other that functions like a window, the stone, the fell in the FaceTiming boomer, with the seeing stone up at his face.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that as
awesome.
well. So.
Oh, good. Awesome. I'm glad.
And may I just take 20 seconds or so, and I wasn't 100% sure whether it was in character for Henrik to push in that direction, and he was never going to insist, right? He doesn't like the idea of thinking he's the one who should decide who dies. But on the other hand, he's like a little bit racked from his own people dying, and like these people. And so then I just sort of, fine, I'll lean into the sort of practical farmer side of him, just going like,
exactly. I thought it was fitting.
You gotta do the dirty work sometimes,
exactly,
kind of guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
like,
I mean,
so morally black and white sometimes, you know.
My MVP more than anything was Henrik looking at these assassins as rot. Like,
yes,
you know, that was so beautiful analogy. It's like they're a mold and a rot upon this farm, this earth, and we need to remove them in the most efficient way possible that preserves as much of the farm or the world as we can. Right? Mm-hmm. I loved that perspective and view, but when you said it, my jaw hit the fucking floor when you were just like, because I'd had in my head, right, that if they let them go and they let them stay there, then they'll hear the explosions as they leave town.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys were like, we're going to camp nearby, and I was like, great, I can give it some time and whatever. but then for you guys to like consider doing it yourselves, and I was like, that's so beautiful, especially after Hennick's super dark Tasha's hideous laughter explosion moment.
Well, I think it was partly what Jamal said, right? About like my way of thinking how that scene was going to go went so sideways. But like, my brain was still going like, okay, so how do we get the hostages away and kill them all? How do we get the hostages away and kill them all? Like, because that was like the original thought process. And so like, I think I was like too zoned in that, and that's just where it took my brain going like, well, now we can do that. But yeah, no, he's on the fence in his own mind there. But
yeah.
Anyhow, wonderful.
So I really enjoyed today's session. I think you guys did a brilliant job. And
I'll admit as well, I honestly didn't know what the hell was going to be going on with this session, because it was just after the last one. I had no clue what direction or what the hell was going to happen with this thing and how we were going to recover from that. But yeah, this was
hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully it stays that way. Regardless, that is where we're going to end. We're not going to be ready today, so if you guys would like to say goodbye.
Bye.
Until next session.
We shall see you soon.